My fiancé said I was low maintenance and disposable, and now I'm disposing our engagement.
That's the right answer.
I'll be honest, I, 29 female, need validation. I feel horrible. There was this post on a different subreddit with men admitting they have spicy sleep with fat girls because they're easier, and people saying that fat girls are more willing to do whatever their partners want because they don't know when they'll be able to have it again. Or some BS like that, and that's exactly what that is.
Yeah.
By the way, this comes from a deleted user. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Dakota.
I'm Sophia.
I'm Carly.
And we're here to give you good advice goofily. But we don't have all the answers. We're just a couple of goofballs. So if you would do a little something different, just let us know in the comments. OP says, I am a fat girl myself and have struggled with this all my life. I've put myself through a lot to lose weight, only to gain back twice as much, minus my strength and health. I've had to go to therapy for eating issues, and I still have a very fractured relationship with food. When I came across this post being discussed on the Bird app, with many people defending this nonsense, I was upset and disgusted. Let me be clear. I did not for 1 second suspect that my fiancé, 32 male, agreed with this. We've been together for 4-ish years. I trusted him completely and went to him for comfort. When we got into bed for the night, I told him that I didn't feel great. He asked me why I was upset, and I told him about the post. I said something like, how can they even say something like that? Can you believe there's people like this? And then complete silence. He was spooning me, and I couldn't see his face, so I repeated myself and asked him for his thoughts.
I said, can you believe that?
I feel so stupid, because even then I didn't think he agreed with it. I figured he was just thinking or something, but he pushed himself away from me and sat up all quiet. I asked him what was going on, and he said something like, well, you have to give those people a chance to get to know them better, and you need a reason to give them that chance. What does that mean? I asked him to explain what he meant, which is exactly what I was thinking. And he basically said there's no other incentive to give a fat person a chance other than the fact that we apparently have spicy sleep a lot easier with people and are so-called kinkier. He kept saying them like I wasn't fat myself, and I called him out on that. But he just went silent. I don't think I would have accepted an "oh, but not you" or anything like that, but it still felt like a slap in the face when he didn't even try to do it. I was shocked and connected the dots myself, but apparently my pathetic self just had to hear it from him. I asked him if that was his motivation to approach me. He hesitated for a minute, but admitted that was true. For context, we had met at a club for a mutual friend's party, and our relationship started off as a one-night stand. We didn't see each other after that for a couple of months, and then he contacted me. He got my IG from our friend to ask me out because he said that he thought I was sweet and smart and wanted to get to know me. We've been together since and got engaged in December at a Christmas party with all of our family present. He said that when he met me at the club, he had spent the whole night flirting with a different friend of ours, but right at the end of the night, she turned down spending the night with him. He said, and I quote, I noticed you hadn't spoken to any men the whole night, so I figured it would take less work. I feel so repulsed at the fact that not only had he thought that, but it worked. I apparently was that desperate and easy. I had a really good day and was in a great mood and didn't really think too much when he approached me. I'm not great looking, but I really liked how I styled myself that day and was feeling myself. I didn't feel the need to question his intentions. But what broke me, and I've been crying about this ever since, was that when I asked him why he asked me out after that night, he said he told his friends about our one night together and that they thought it would be good for him to be with someone willing to do whatever he wants until he finds someone else.
Wow.
I feel like at this point he was intentionally trying to hurt me. I don't know why he would, but I don't understand why he would say this to me even if it was true. Why would you say that to someone you apparently love? I blanked out and felt so much self-hatred and disgust in that moment I had to ask him to leave. I didn't ask him why he stayed with me all this time or while we were still engaged. I'm too scared to know, to be honest. I don't know how I'd react if he keeps degrading me, or even if he says that he genuinely started to like me later. Because our relationship started with spicy sleep, and he clearly seemed interested, I never felt conscious of my body around him. Nor has he ever said anything fat-phobic to me before. But I just couldn't be around him after what he said. I gave him back his ring and asked him to leave. It's been about a day, but he hasn't tried to get in touch with me or apologize at all. Sadly, at this point, our friend groups are deeply intertwined, and when I confided in some of them, most said that it doesn't matter how our relationship started or what he thought back then because he's never shown it or treated me badly.
It's not what he thought back then. It's what he currently thinks now. He made no kind of sign. Like, there was no sign that he thinks any differently.
I mean, like, I get that in, like, certain contexts, but not in the context of,
Yeah.
like, he's like, well, yeah, it's like, I thought you were worthless until I spent like a year and a half with you. And then I saw, oh my gosh, this is a human being.
Like, just like having that mentality at all in life is pretty crazy. And not even realizing that that is the wrong mentality to have. You stink. You smell so bad. Are you a rotten egg?
A few of the girls are defending my reaction, saying that even on a larger level, he is fatphobic and misogynistic, and I shouldn't be with him. I need a third-person view. Am I overreacting? Should I try to talk to him again or understand where he's coming from? I feel horrible. I weighed myself last night and broke down crying, and I've barely eaten. I've been down this path before, and it's terrifying to see myself do it again. But for some reason, I just can't stop. Is this relationship worth all this?
No.
There
Anyone
are
who makes you feel
comments.
that way, out. Done.
Comment number 1. He's seen his way out when you brought it up and thought, I'll tell the truth now, and then you'll have to end it. You deserve better. Comment 2 says, what did I just read? As a fat girl myself, I definitely sometimes felt that. I'm in my late 40s now, and if my partner said that to me, he would lose a body part. Yeah, it may have started like that, but he asked to marry you because you're willing to do whatever he wants until he finds someone else? Comment 3 says, this revelation is rocking your world for a variety of reasons, but they all stem from immense doubt that this situation has caused. If it were me, it would be making me question if I really know my fiancé. If he thinks this way and has all along, what else do I not know? It would be making me question if he really loves me or what he might secretly think about me that I also don't know. It would make me question when I went from being just an easy girl to someone you actually love and want a life with. And how are you supposed to be intimate with someone who you trusted and now has completely ripped out the rug from under you, while also hitting on something that already relates to sore spots in your life? Not overreacting at all. If you can no longer trust him, and even more, he won't try to reassure you with his love for you now, what other choice do you have? I am so sorry. Maybe there is a conversation to be had and some work that can be done to mend your relationship over time, but this is quite a foundation-shattering revelation. And there is an update. He finally reached out to me and apologized and said that he does love me. He said he didn't reach out and apologize right away because he's been feeling guilty for a while and it's been eating at him. He said he feels I deserve better and took his chance to tell me the truth when I asked him about the post, but regrets how it all happened. He said that he loves me and wants to prove himself to me, but I don't think I have it in me to trust him right now. Please don't. Ever.
Don't.
I told him as much, and he said he understands. The engagement is off, the families and friends have been informed, and I am beyond devastated. But there are beyond endless episodes.
So true.
Full episodes even, with stories just like this that you can listen to on your favorite podcast platform, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Just search OK Storytime wherever you get your podcasts. You can listen to these stories and hopefully learn a thing or two about what level of self-worth you deserve to have.
If anyone tells you, oh, I love you, and like I didn't mean all of the horrible things that they said, you can't just believe the words. You got to see where's the action. And sometimes there are words that no action can kind of fix, because there are words that you just never say to someone that you supposedly love, because you can't take them back.
Yeah, and it's like, I do agree with that commenter who I think when you brought that up, I think he saw that as his opportunity to be like, oh, wait, I can get out of this, because maybe he was in too deep. You know, he went in too deep. And he clearly is a little baby coward man. And even when he came back to you, he was like, oh, I just felt so guilty and I felt like you deserved better. And it's like, yeah, you're taking all of the pressure off of yourself there, buddy. But don't get back with this guy.
This guy's
he's just a dirty little liar manipulator, man.
Don't do that.
He'll do it again. He'll just do it again if you bring him back.
Truly don't do that.
Let's finish this story. The life I imagined myself having is falling apart. but I've been hanging out with my sister and meeting some of my older friends, and it's been nice. One of my friends from school that I reconnected with thanks to my sister is recently divorced from her husband of 7 years, and she's been wonderful with comforting me and giving me advice. I'm also meeting with a therapist, and my sister found me a body image support group type thing. I'm going to do my best to focus on myself and be there for the people that are actually by my side. It'll take me a long, long time to get over him, let alone gain confidence in my body or trust someone to genuinely want to be with me, but I'm going to try. Thanks to everyone for your support and encouragement, and that is the end of that story.
My fiance drained our life savings, and I discovered what he spent it on.
Ice sculptures.
I've spent the last few years building a life I'm proud of. I own 2 businesses, and I've worked 12 to 18-hour days grinding, planning, and building a future off of a legit goodwill income.
What does that mean?
I think that's not a lot of income is what they're
Okay.
saying. No real money. Just 1,000 here and there to obtain all my business goals. By the way, this comes from user historical cicada 20, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Dakota.
I'm Sophia.
I'm Riley.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers to life's questions. We only know what we know. So if you know stuff that we don't know, let us know in the comments. OP says, I scraped by, maxed out my credit cards, took out high interest loans, and took a 25% cut on all my sales until I can get paid back. Meanwhile, the man I was planning to marry, he didn't want to be a part of it. He was emotionally unavailable, never present in my world, never asking about my goals or wanting to learn the business or grow with me. We fought constantly because I felt alone in the relationship, emotionally and mentally. He always had energy for video games until 3 or 4 a.m., sleeping in and Pokemon. He told me since I can't help him at his corporate job, why would he want to be a part of our businesses? He never financially helped me with anything for my businesses, and I was okay with it because I respected him and knew he worked his butt off for his salary. All I wanted was him to be more present, and every time I would ask for that, he would flip out. There was never money for anything meaningful unless I came up with it and forced it to be spent. Car down payments, that's me. Furniture, me. Home upgrades, me. Trips and holidays, I paid for 75% of it all. I poured into him and his world because I believed we were creating a future together, and I ignored the pit in my stomach that something wasn't right. I loved him so much, I invested thousands upon thousands of dollars into a property that was never in my name. I knew if I left, none of it was mine. However, I never thought I would leave. I begged him to ask me to be his wife. I showed up for him in countless ways. Every single Christmas or birthday party, I paid for all the gifts for his family. I threw parties. I paid for lessons for his nieces. I did it because I loved him and I wanted to be a part of his family so bad. However, looking back, he never made a real effort with mine. I wanted to be with him so bad. I wanted to make him love me as much as I loved him. But when it came to me, there was no shopping trips where he bought me whatever I wanted. No birthday gifts, no feeling special. If I asked him to go through the drive-thru of Starbucks, he would not for me because he was always in a hurry to get home. He would sit at home all weekend while I worked, and I would come home to a dirty house, my clothes still dirty, and nothing picked up. I would be in a constant state of depression and would even hire house cleaners to come clean because I was so unmotivated and depressed. I felt so alone. Only thing he ever bought me was dinners out. I didn't understand how someone making over $100,000 a year never wanted to spend his money on me or even himself. When I would go shopping with my friends, I would buy him clothes. He would act all weird whenever we would be out at the mall. He not only didn't buy me anything, he wouldn't buy himself anything. I asked him repeatedly to be on his bank account since we were getting married soon. He would brush me off and tell me no, or we'll do it soon. But I was getting ready to put his name on all of my businesses. I was ready for him to be on all my accounts. I was completely ready to be his wife. And then I found out why he was secretly gambling. Not a little, not once. My fiancé secretly gambled hundreds of thousands of dollars and lost over $25,000 in 3 years. But $16,000 of it has been in the last 10 months. Almost $200,000 this year alone circulated through his account between wins and losses. I mean, he sounds like he's kind of up. Sounds like he's kind of up for the
Then
most
why
part.
isn't he paying for OP's gifts at the mall?
Because he's trying to surprise you. He's gonna buy your businesses with
Yeah, maybe
his
that's what this has
gambling
all
money?
been leading up to.
He lied every single time I asked him about it. I told him if I find out you're gambling, I will leave. Well, that's why he lied. I said it multiple times over the course of the last year. We had people close to us that were gamblers, and he knew how upset I was that their life was going down that path. My fiancé would promise me to my face that he wasn't doing that. 6 hours after his last hit, I got into his email, changed the password to his gambling site, and found it all right there. I was in shock. I left the same day I found out. Moved to my mom's, canceled the wedding,
Ugh.
ended the relationship.
Yay! And OP, we need to go to a therapist and figure out why, through all of those red flags, it took finding out that he was a gambler to actually end the relationship.
God, it would have been so funny if you got into his gambling account, changed the password, and then put all of it on red. And then it wins, and then you just cash out. Yeah.
That seems legal.
Legal a schmeagle. You know what I mean?
Got 'em.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's improv, baby.
Mm-hmm.
It's been 2 weeks, and I feel awful that I left something that was supposed to be my forever. Now I'm signing a lease and getting my own place. This is, babe, this is great news.
Yeah, this
This
is
is great
awesome.
news, Ben.
You have businesses. You've got mall trips. You can buy yourself gifts. This is awesome.
Yeah, you don't have to pay for all the gifts now.
Yeah, do you
if
think
he's
about all the
gone.
money that you're going to
Yeah.
save not paying for his niece's classes? I don't know, in like jujitsu?
I
Probably.
mean, you almost got locked in with like an
Yeah.
iPad baby.
Yeah.
Is what it feels like. I feel like, secret gambling is like just adult iPad baby brain. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, because it's all like the pleasure center of your brain being like, win.
Goo goo
oh,
gaga, I want
no,
dopamine.
I want
Beep,
more
beep, boo, boo,
win.
cocoa melon, iPad,
It's like
la boo
the
boo dupai chocolate.
Science of addiction.
I'm signing a lease and getting my own place. And he shows up crying, saying losing me is his wake-up call, telling me it's too soon and that I'm abandoning him and he needs me and he's heartbroken. I'm really moving out. But I'll never be heartbroken if you listen to full episodes with stories like this one on your favorite podcast platforms, like iHeartRadio, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen. Just search OK Storytime.
Search it.
And there ain't no gambling there.
Mm-mm.
That's not a gamble.
Mm-mm. No.
That's a fact.
Mm-hmm.
What do you have to add, Sophia? What do you have to say to this?
This is great. I'm so happy that you were out of this relationship.
This is good news, Mark.
You can be a bee.
You can do.
Yeah.
You can whatever you want.
All those invincible memes aside, it's
invincible brain
great.
rot.
It's great that you're out of this. It's great that you got your own apartment. You have a business. You don't have kids. You're not married. This is like obviously emotionally it sucks, but like legally, you got out right on time. Because think about all of the debt that you could have taken on when you were married if you hadn't found this out.
Yeah, that would have been bad. Although it does sound
Would've
like he's
been
winning.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like he's in debt yet,
Yeah.
but he's probably not going to stop gambling.
Yeah.
If anyone wants to know what a gambling problem really looks and feels like, go watch Uncut Gems. And that's all I have to say about that. He told me that if I get my own place, that I'll never be allowed back into his life again. Word. I told him I can't live with someone I was supposed to marry that I no longer am making that commitment with. So here's my question. Is moving into my own place 2 weeks after ending our engagement too soon? What were you supposed to do? We were together for almost 8 years. He makes me feel so guilty for leaving that I feel like I'm a bad person for not being there.
And that's why it's a good thing that you're leaving.
You've got CPP, chronic people pleasing. You
Yeah.
CPP.
Well, I think he's just also, it seems, conditioned this relationship to benefit him in every aspect
Yeah.
and to make her feel bad when she's not doing something that caters to him. And this is just that first big leap you gotta make to get out of there.
You just got to assume everything your ex says is like the opposite of what he's saying is what is actually good,
Yeah.
you know, and what should actually happen.
Yeah.
He's like, I miss you. He doesn't. He just misses the things that you did for him. I need time. He doesn't. It's been 8 years,
Yeah.
you know. However, he got to keep all the furniture I bought, all the investments I made into his house, all the upgrades I put into it, and now I'm starting over. And yeah, let that just be a warning, because that's the end of the story. Let that be a warning to anybody who's just throwing money into a partnership,
Yeah.
and you have no legal right to any of that stuff anymore. The furniture is one thing,
I mean, you
but like
could have
the house
taken the
payment,
furniture. You
the
should
house
have taken
payment's
the
a different
furniture.
story.
Yeah.
And you could take all that furniture.
Take that furniture, man. It's your furniture.
He's just gonna be like, you can't do this. Where am I gonna sit? I don't know. Maybe
The
you can sit on
floor?
a chair that you buy with
Or
all of
that.
your salary money that you spend on gambling.
Yeah, that's the second option. First option, the floor.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear the Oklahoma City Thunder's a good team to bet on this year.
But that's the end of that story.
My best friend claimed my fiance confessed feelings but refused to show proof.
Show me the proof.
So, I, female 27, have been with my fiance, male 28, since I was 17. We've been together for 10 years. I've also been best friends with my friend since we were 8. By the way, this comes from user Throwaway Pasta Tank. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Dakota.
I'm Carly.
I'm Keon.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we do. Let us know what you would do in the comments. And OP says, generally, they have gotten on fine throughout that time until a few years ago, when my friend picked me up after a few drinks one night. I hadn't known she was buzzed, and we got in a wreck. We were both fine, but he thinks she's irresponsible. So he's been very formally polite to her since then.
That's fair.
Very
That's
fair.
So fair. That's probably nicer than most people would be.
Incredibly fair. When she comes to visit me, he goes into the other room to play video games or something. About 2 weeks ago, she texted me and asked me to get lunch with her. Places are open in our area, so I met up with her. During lunch, she told me that my fiancé had told her he had feelings for her and wanted them to be together, but she said no. I was obviously upset and asked when this happened, where, and whether he messaged her, and if I could see the message. She immediately got really angry, accusing me of not believing her, even though we've been friends for so long. Oh my goodness. She must have been buzzed when she had this idea. Are you serious? You're going to say that?
Like, yeah. That's all I got.
You drop that and then you just expect them to not be like, well, show me.
Right. You thought you'd just be like, yeah, no, but you have to believe me. I can't actually show you anything. You just have to believe me.
Yeah, no. And actually, how dare you?
How dare you think I'm lying
How dare you
Like a
not
liar.
blindly believe me?
about
not ask for
something
proof.
devastating?
Yeah.
Insane.
I asked her to at least tell me where and when this happened, even if there wasn't any proof. She refused and said that if after all this time of friendship I wouldn't believe her, then she was better off with being with a dirty cheater. She stormed off before the food even got to the table. I went home to talk to my fiancé, really upset, of course. He seemed genuinely confused about the accusation, from what I could tell, and asked when she claimed this happened, since he's very rarely around her. The only time he ever sees her is if he walks through the living room to get food from the kitchen before returning to his office. He's never been in the house with her alone. I admitted she wouldn't tell me because she thinks I should just believe her. I brought up that he could have messaged her, and he immediately handed me his phone, saying that if looking through it would help, I should go ahead. I went through the whole thing and found nothing. They're not even friends on any social media. He doesn't have any unusual apps or suspicious contacts. He does have her number in his phone, but there are no messages to or from her. He's also been working from home, and I do all our shopping and errands, so only one of us goes out. He has asthma, so he hasn't been out much in the past year. We have security cameras at our place, so her dropping by without triggering an alert is unlikely, unless he texted her and immediately deleted it, or coincidentally ran into her the 1 or 2 times he's been out, or proclaimed his love while I was in the bathroom. I have no idea when this could have happened. I'm inclined to believe him, considering I've been with him for 10 years. I can't think of when this would have occurred. Then she refuses to tell me anything else. Our mutual friends are divided. Some think it's suspect that she won't provide details, while others say, as her best friend, I should believe her because she has no reason to lie, whereas my fiancé would have a reason to lie if he had.
Sounds very kindergarten.
What?
So the person who, to be clear,
Yeah.
the person who is not guilty at all,
Yeah.
and was just proposition,
Yeah.
has no evidence and is insulted that you want it. That makes no sense.
Dakota, it's her word.
It makes no sense.
Huh?
It makes no sense.
It's the friend's word.
I don't know what to believe at this point. My friend is still completely shut down on me. I called her to talk, but she told me not to contact her again unless I believe her, and then hung up.
Show me any proof then.
Right.
Show me absolutely any proof.
My fiance has been completely open about everything. Part of me wonders if she is lying because she knows he doesn't like her from what happened a few years ago and is trying to break us up.
Wow, it took us that long to get here though.
that.
OP, you just getting here?
We're there.
We been there.
Then, I also wonder if he really did text her and she's telling the truth but being so difficult for no apparent reason. I need advice on how to handle this situation.
I certainly would be trusting my fiance, right? Not husband yet.
I believe so, yes.
I certainly would be trusting my fiance over a girl that once lied about how much she had to drink that night and got us into a potentially super harmful accident.
Yeah. It's just...
You don't have the best track record of being truthful.
So, we've got a comment here from OP.
Great.
Kind of addressing her friend and why she could be behaving this way and how things changed after the accident.
For sure.
OP says, I can't say she acts like me or anything. Since the accident, she's brought up him acting weird around her. She mentions how he always goes to the other room and barely talks to her, etc. When prior to the accident, he would go out with us and we'd all watch movies together or do other things. She eventually picked up that he was mad at her and has seemed bitter about it since. But I thought she let it go since she was still going to be in the wedding and I still spent a lot of time with her. I hadn't put any thought into her possibly having feelings for him. I thought at most she was mad at him for being mad at her over the accident. Prior to the accident, she got along well with him and told me she thought he was a good guy. After the accident, she'd mentioned him being grumpy, blaming her for no reason, not understanding that people make mistakes, etc., since he just didn't forgive her like I did. We've got comments. It really does sound like your friend made it up. It's obvious that in a situation like that, when she told you, you would have been shocked and wanted more information. If she was telling the truth, she would have done all she could to absolutely make you certain about it, because a fiancé cheating is a big deal. Also, what makes the story so improbable is that if he doesn't even like her character, they don't talk or have a good friendship. At most, all he could have wanted was spicy sleep with her, not told her he had feelings for her. When a boyfriend cheats, it's usually because of physical attraction that maybe, if it continues, can develop into feelings, but I've only ever heard of a few cases like this. And it was when a guy confessed to her friends of 10 years rather than some random girl who got my girlfriend in an accident. OP replies, yeah, like honestly, if I'm being honest, if it happened prior to the accident, I think I would have been more likely to believe her, since we all hung out together and they both said good things about each other. Since the accident, he's made it clear to me he didn't want to even be around her, but tolerated her because I care about her. But part of me started questioning if he was only saying all that as a cover because he had feelings. But that feels like I'm just overthinking it at this point. That's true. Oh my great snakes. Are you serious?
That's
Don't think that.
So overthinking.
That would be insane.
Yeah, I don't think he'd be going so far as to like not be in the same room if that was the case.
Comment number 2. Just my thoughts on this, but if she was telling you the truth, she would easily give you details. The fact that she got angry right away and insisted you should believe her after giving you news that would have been a total shock is insane. To me, it sounds like she decided to lie, and when you questioned her, she panicked and got mad. If I had to bet, she isn't giving details because it never happened. She probably knows he doesn't leave the house, and you'd know if she was there. Texting would leave evidence, which she doesn't have, and she hasn't been in the house or room alone with him for longer than 40 seconds. OP says, honestly, that makes the most sense of this mess. I don't know why she would lie, whether she had feelings for him that I never knew about or is just mad at him for being mad at her. I guess the reason doesn't matter in how I should handle this, which is true. OP explains more about the rift caused by the car accident. OP says we'd planned that she would pick me up and I'd spend the night at her place since we wanted to have a movie night and a few drinks. I didn't know she'd already had a couple of drinks before getting there. On the way back to her place, she suddenly veered off the road and smashed into a tree.
Oh my god.
That sounds like, wait, what? Oh my god.
Awful.
Neither of us were badly hurt, luckily, but her car was totaled. People whose yard it was called the police, and some cars stopped to check on us. She was arrested for driving intoxicated, and the ambulance that showed up took me to the hospital to get checked since I had some cuts and the airbags had gone off. My fiancé had to come pick me up from the hospital in the middle of the night. Since then, he's made it clear he doesn't want to be around her. He thinks she's irresponsible and only tolerates her because I forgave her. He says he can't forgive her because she could have hurt us both. She thinks it isn't fair to be blamed for the whole thing since the road was slippery and in the end we were fine. I'm sorry.
What?
She thinks it isn't fair to be blamed for the whole thing since the road was slippery and in the end we were fine? And we have an update from 3 days later. But
What?
I would, if I were you, OP, no longer forgive your friend.
Yeah, that is wild that you forgave her so fast for that. I'm 100% like, I get that it was her friend, so maybe there's some like past there, but nah, I'm on fiancé hubby's side of like, we're not getting past this.
If you're not willing to take a shred
Yeah.
of accountability, let alone like partial, you're like,
Think
well,
that
I shouldn't
road
have
was
all the
slippery?
fault.
I'm sorry. Then
It's-
even less reason to be out driving at all. I don't know.
That needs to be the thing your friend says. That needs to be the thing OP says, not you.
Right.
You need to be going, this was all my fault. I'm so sorry. I'm such an
Right.
idiot. Like, I'll never do that again. I can't believe I did that. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me.
And then you can be like, it's okay because we were both fine. Just don't do it again. And you still like don't give that much trust back to that.
Yeah.
I certainly wouldn't be like, yeah, getting back in a car.
Yeah. But here's that update. Well, I woke up in the morning after the
Okay.
post and hadn't expected that many responses. I sat and read them all, and it was pretty unanimous that she was lying for some reason. And if she wasn't lying, she was being a terrible friend for how she went about this. Some comments also really made me realize how much crap my fiancé has had to go through because of her presence in my life. So I woke him up and told him I believed him and apologized for letting this drag on as long as I did. I took the advice of someone and made a group chat minus the now ex-best friend. I sent them the post and just asked that they read it. Most of them waffled at first until one said that had she not known either of us, it would be obvious who was lying, and they all agreed it was too suspect. One of them called me shortly after asking me to meet up with her to talk, so I did. She's the one closest to the ex-best friend other than myself. She basically told me that the ex-best friend had been complaining about my fiancé for like half a year to her, about how he's still mad, how he must be making me spend less time with her, and how I'm going to marry someone who's actively trying to tear us apart as friends. She was able to show me some texts where the ex-best friend had been saying those sorts of things, including one with her in the maid of honor dress and a text saying, "My dress for the funeral of our friendship." Then leading up to now, where the ex-best friend was asking her if it was true, and she was snapping at her through text to stop questioning her, insisting it didn't matter if she was lying anyway. What a wild state of mind.
What are we doing?
Yeah, you say, I was driving under the influence and got in a car accident, and now her fiance doesn't like me. So I have full rights to be able to break up their marriage.
Right, because she's leaving me as a friend. Yeah, probably for more than just the fact that she's marrying someone. Probably because you drove her into a tree.
Yeah, gross. Friend said she hadn't reached out to me earlier because she thought after the wedding the ex-best friend would realize it wasn't as bad as she thought it was going to be. Then when all this happened, she didn't think texts were proof enough to show me and risk our relationship. But the post made her feel bad for not showing me the messages. So she gave me some of the screenshots, and I went to the ex-best friend's apartment myself to talk to her. Why? Why do we feel the need to even do that? I guess you've been friends for a while, but it
maid
should
of
be
honor,
over.
I guess, but still.
She let me in, and I asked if she had anything to tell me before we went any further. She doubled down, refusing to give me details, repeating the same stuff. I told her I knew she was lying and had proof. I showed her the screenshots, which she accused my friend of photoshopping to make her look bad. Once I told her I read them in person off my friend's phone, she started going on about how everyone was trying to tear up our friendship after the accident and how it wasn't fair to her. I told her maybe if she had apologized and tried to make changes in her life instead of insisting for years that it wasn't her fault and then coming up with this lie, maybe none of that would have happened. Good for you, OP. That's exactly what you should have said.
Yay.
This person is like completely oblivious to the consequence of their own actions and
Right.
decisions.
Oh, the road was slippery. Shut up.
I told her that even if she had been telling the truth, the way she chose to tell me and make this a loyalty test instead of sharing some of the most devastating news of my life showed she isn't a good friend. I forgave the accident because I cared for her and took it as a mistake. But that care doesn't go both ways. I told her not to contact me again and that I had informed the friend group of everything, sent them the screenshots, and they could make their own decisions about who to spend time with. But I won't be seeing her again. I'll be blocking her on everything, and I told her not to attempt to fix this because it's unforgivable. I still feel mentally and emotionally drained from all this, but there's also a massive weight lifted off my shoulders. As for the wedding, instead of choosing another friend in this group, I asked my fiance's little sister to be my maid of honor, and she is very excited. My fiance is also relieved he doesn't have to deal with the ex-best friend anymore and says he's just happy it's all settled. As for the rest of my friends, the one who showed me the texts, I'm not going to stay in contact with her either, since she hid all this and only showed me out of guilt. The others, I guess I'll see how it goes. And there's an edit about the friend who told me. Maybe in time I can move past it, but right now I can't really look at her. It's not just that she didn't tell me right away. I just feel uncomfortable. I would spend time with the two of them a lot, and to know there were conversations about my fiance, the wedding, the relationship, and our friendship going on like that, yeah. And I kind of agree. Like, I get that.
I get that, and I'm also, like, iffy on that one, because, like, if she was also dissing everything in those comments, yeah, distance her. But if she fully was just kind of like, girl, like, she's gonna marry him, like, come on, let's, like, be happy for her, then it's like, okay, she's fighting for you a little bit.
Well, if it's
but
entertained for so long, I would assume that that's not being put out there.
I don't also,
But
like, I'm also not, like, that warrants immediately going to the person and being like, hey, by the way, your maid of honor actually actively talks really bad about your fiance.
No,
like, that's also devastating news to deliver.
I think it should be more of like, instead of like a tattle energy, it should be like, hey, I just want to let you know, like, clearly, like, so-and-so has an issue.
I
With
guess
the way that she talks about
it's just
your
the fact
relationship with him, she's got an issue with it. So
it's
maybe
the fact
talk
that
to her
she was
about it.
like, I think it'll get better once they get married. Like, you'll see that
Yeah,
things
it's
aren't
just
bad. I
an
think she wanted to
excuse.
wait.
It's
I don't know.
just an excuse.
I wouldn't count her out unless she's genuinely like, if things were said that were bad. We don't need to keep her close. But if you don't want to get rid of her completely, we can keep her around a little.
The maid of honor dress photo, I'm literally next to her in the picture.
Oy.
She knew my fiance had these feelings so strongly and was my maid of honor and essentially hated my partner at this point. Then when my boyfriend told the whole friend group this situation and they all came at me about not believing her,
Best
she
friend.
was one of the ones who said I should listen to my
Best friend.
best friend. She knew all the stuff she had been saying and confessing to her was a lie. She didn't do anything herself but watched it all happen until she felt guilty. Yep. Right now, that just hurts, and I'm not sure I want her in my life. By the way, you can listen to full episodes with stories just like this one on your favorite podcast platforms, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen. Just search OK Storytime.
So true.
You can go, woohoo! Because you'll be ecstatic how many episodes you can listen to. We got some like comments I think here to finish it off.
I mean, a problem solved.
I do agree now with the added information that she was the one saying to believe the friend that she already knew just hated your fiance.
Yeah, we
And
didn't
was
have
lying.
that before.
That with
With that
with that on
info,
top,
yeah,
I think you can just walk away from
yeah.
that.
I think that was the,
'Cause that's
the
crazy.
final little bit of
That's crazy. It's like, I don't know, you got to
Confirmed
be a
walk away.
facilitator. There's times where people like in a group will like not jive, and you can go like, hey, so and so feels whatever type of way about so and so, you know, maybe let's get ahead of that. Let's address that. Maybe we, in the separate group chat, hey, not even a separate group chat, just an actual just text her.
Yeah.
Like she's got mad beef with your husband
yeah,
to be.
flat out.
Comment 1. I get why you feel the way you do. I've been where you are right now. But whatever you do, don't shoot the messenger. She could have reached out sooner. Yeah, okay. No, I disagree with this because of the I disagree with this because she told you to agree with her. Could she reached out sooner? Yes, of course, but when she realized how serious the situation actually was, she reached out to you. No, I disagree. I'm not even doing this because this is before the edit. Yes, that's before the edit. I'm going to go to comment 2. What did ex-bestie say when confronted with the irrefutable truth? Did she admit to lying or try to continue the charade? OP says she admitted it once I told her I saw the messages on the other friend's phone directly and tried to blame the reason for her doing it on people trying to wreck our friendship. Maybe look in the mirror, buddy. You're the one turning the ship directly into the giant iceberg. And the iceberg is made out of all your decisions.
Dang.
Comment 3. Think about how difficult it must be to be the friend that showed you. Okay, stop it. No, that's all before the edit. That is the end. That is the end of that story.
Yeah.
Do not forgive that friend. She actively tried to conspire in the lie.
Because it's also like, that friend's probably going to remain friends with the one that you're cutting off. So do
Yeah.
you really even want that drama of like the back and forth between her and the other friend and her and you? And she's gonna keep trying stuff.
Exactly.
She'll probably eventually sabotage the one with you and that friend anyway. The ex-friend. I mean, too confusing.
My mother-in-law ignored the doctor's orders and went straight to my newborn.
Well, you gotta go straight out the door.
For background, my fiance's mom and I had a great relationship up until my daughter was born. Her overstepping and crossing boundaries started while I was in the hospital giving birth, and it only got worse. I was actually very excited to have her as my daughter's grandma, and then she just wouldn't stop crossing boundaries. And her sense of entitlement to my daughter was insane. My daughter is her first grandchild. And by the way, this comes from Recording No 9311. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. And I'm Angie.
I'm Sophia.
And I'm Vincent.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We just know what we would do in these situations. So let us know what you would do in the comments. NOP says, I had a very healthy and normal pregnancy, but my daughter suffered a birth injury and was born not breathing and had to be resuscitated, and oxygen was cut off from her brain during that time.
Oh my god.
Oh boy, we sure did a crazy bit based off of a terrible thing. I didn't get to hold her when she was born. She was immediately taken for medical care and then was transported to a different hospital with a higher level of NICU care for a couple hours later. I got discharged 6 hours after giving birth and went to be with her in the NICU, but was not able to hold her or touch her for 4 days because she was in critical condition and undergoing therapeutic hypothermia.
Oh my god.
She also had 3 holes in her heart at birth. What? And when we were discharged, we were told that we should just keep her at home with mom and dad and not allow visitors because of the risk of endocarditis. Sorry.
That sounds right to me.
Okay, cool.
I don't know.
With the holes until her cardiology appointment and her echo, which was 1 month after she was discharged. She's 18 months old and very medically complex as a result of her birth. She is developmentally delayed in PT 3 times a week and OT 1 time a week. And she sees so many specialists: PMR, neurologist, neurosurgeon, audiology, ENT, gastro, endocrinology, vascular surgeon. It sure is a big old list of things.
Oh my goodness, this poor baby.
This little baby, she's got a tight schedule.
Yeah.
Busy baby.
This is awful.
She wears AFOs and has hypotonia
and is currently being assessed for cerebral palsy. She was just recently diagnosed with partial diabetes.
Oh my
insipidus, which is a result of her birth as well.
She can't catch a break.
What's going on?
Jeez.
She's getting assessed for autism in January as well, and has to be put under anesthesia in January as well to make sure a complex cyst she has in her brain isn't
God.
actually a tumor and hasn't grown.
Oh my God.
You're always at appointments or the hospital.
I'm
Sounds
so
like it.
sorry. This
Yeah.
is awful.
Sounds awful. Sounds like so much that she has to be put through.
Yeah.
Sounds very time consuming. Sounds expensive.
Oh, yeah.
Sounds like bankruptcy is happening.
Babies can be, because I always hear, I feel like people don't talk about it, but like sometimes I'll hear about how going to the hospital to have the baby
Yeah.
costs a certain amount.
Yes.
And it can cost a lot.
Yes.
And I'm assuming like insurance often covers a lot of that. But like
Hopefully.
a lot of people talk about like $1 million babies,
Oh.
especially when your baby's in the NICU.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering how
Oh.
much money just from the hospital and then less all of the money after the fact.
Oh my
like that's
gosh.
so hard.
That is a lot.
Yeah.
I will admit I'm definitely extra protective of my daughter because she has a lot going on, and I'm so scared of
Fair.
anything happening to her since I really thought I lost her twice. My daughter does require special care, and I don't trust mother-in-law to listen to anything I say regarding her care. We had a good relationship before my daughter was born. We weren't super close, but we were on good terms and got along well. She was very excited to be a grandma. She threw me a baby shower, which was very nice, but limited me to inviting 15 people and had about 40 people there that she invited. And there were several people that she invited that my fiance and I didn't even know who they were, which I just thought was a bit strange, just because I had to not invite family members that I was close with because of the limit. She also said I couldn't have any of my 6 nieces or nephews come because no kids were going. And I was fine with that, but on the day of the shower, there were actually about 10 kids that were from the family or friends on her side's kids. So I just thought that it was a bit strange, but just was grateful for the shower and brushed it off. When I was in labor, we had been giving updates to family about how I was progressing. And when I was about to push, my fiance called his mom to tell her that I was about to push. And she said that she was coming up to the hospital. And he said, no. We didn't want visitors while I was pushing or immediately after she's born. And just want to make sure that me and the baby are feeling okay and up for visits. And we will let her know when to come to the hospital. And then she went back and forth for a while, fighting, saying that she was coming and that this is her first grandchild. And I was in so much pain, full dilated, ready to push. I just said, so effed up, just tell her she's not coming and hang up and hold my hand and be here for me. And he finally firmly told her to stay home and she stopped.
So valid.
That would be so frustrating if
Yeah.
I'm on the table, legs in the air,
Yeah.
baby coming out, my, everything, there's a,
Yeah.
stretched out and ready to give birth. And my husband is in the corner like, no, well, because of this, no, I know you can't come. Like, I would be like, my God. Like, I'd be so upset.
You're never going to make it in this industry.
Yeah. Put the right out, smash it. I get up, take the phone from him.
Yeah.
When our daughter was born, I only got to see her for 2 minutes, a couple of hours after she was born, right before they transported her to a different hospital. Future mother-in-law called saying that she was driving to the NICU to go be with the baby, and my fiance told her no, and we haven't even gotten to be with our own baby yet, and that she wasn't going to. She wouldn't be allowed in to see her anyways, and he said to turn around, but she wouldn't listen, and she just kept saying that she was just doing it, and he had to call his dad and sister to get her to turn around because she just wouldn't listen to him. That bothered me a lot after I was a few hours postpartum of an extremely traumatic birth and already crying and breaking down and just trying to get to my baby. And then she added that stress too. My future mother-in-law and father-in-law visited twice in the NICU. The first time was the day after she was born, and I was so broken up and didn't really talk to them at all. The second time, we learned about how there is a 2-visitor in the NICU rule, and just me and his mom were in the NICU, and she asked how I was. And I briefly answered about how I'm not doing too well, but trying to hold it together. And she broke down crying for about a half an hour, telling me about how I have no idea how hard this has been on her, and she hasn't even been able to go into work, and just going on and on.
I literally
Interesting.
would have a meltdown.
Yeah.
I'm throwing a fit right now.
Yeah, I would too.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry that this has been so hard on you.
Yeah.
Let's get you in a hospital bed right now.
Yeah. Yeah. You
Oh my
need
gosh,
help.
nurse.
She can't go into work.
And then she's like, no, I'm fine. I push her.
Yeah, I go.
Not anymore. Now we need okay, now nurse. Now you can come.
Nurse, get her.
Nurse. She's hurt.
Nurse.
Yeah, I would be very upset. I felt so uncomfortable. I didn't comfort her at all and didn't even respond to most of what she said. I wasn't in a position to be comforting someone and just couldn't take on dealing with that. I didn't know if I'd even be taking my daughter home from the NICU. When we brought her home, we were told not to take her anywhere and limit germ exposure as much as possible because she was at high risk for endocarditis, if she was to get sick. Basically, an infection getting into her heart and would become very serious or life-ending. For the first couple of days, we decided to just keep her at home until her cardiology appointment 1 month away. But then we decided we would only bring her around our parents as long as they were feeling 100% and didn't touch her and kept their distance. My parents were so respectful and genuinely afraid of getting her sick or anything happening to her, and were even asking, are you sure about me bringing her over, even if they didn't touch her? We went to his parents, and his dad was respectful, but we were just on the phone with his mom on the way over about not touching her. And then right when we walked into the door, she ran over and started rubbing her face and foot. The daughter. Okay, for a second, I thought it was the mom. But I quickly told her to stop so it didn't get too far. I thought that was very awful to do when we were trying to follow the doctor's orders. And when my fiance and I were both still so terrified of something happening to her after everything we just went through with her. She continued to call my fiance every other day while she knew that she hadn't had her cardiology appointment and ask if she could hold her yet and ask if my parents had held her. They hadn't. My parents were patiently and respectfully waiting until her cardiologist cleared her. She would call me and ask if she could come over while my fiance is at work to hold my daughter while I get housework done. And when I told her, once again, about how she still hadn't had her cardiology appointment and that there are risks, right when we would hang up, then she would call my fiance, who is sitting right next to me, to ask him the same question and see if she can get him to change his mind. That's
I'm blocking.
insane.
Blocked.
Yeah, you
Can't talk to me anymore.
Can't talk to me until at least I have cardiology appointment. And
even
maybe
then.
further. And yeah. Postpartum and trying to learn about my daughter's health issues, it rubbed me so much the wrong way that she knew the risks and knew it was the doctor's advice to not even bring her around anyone, and she just didn't care. She only cared about what she wanted, which was to hold her. And she wouldn't stop asking and trying to make us feel guilty for not letting her, and really caused me a ton of stress when I was already stressed postpartum. After my daughter's cardiology appointment, 2 of her big holes had miraculously gotten quite smaller.
Nice.
And the cardiologist didn't think endocarditis was a big risk anymore and said that she could be held and around others. But after how mother-in-law had acted and been so forceful trying to hold her, not accepting no, and being so selfish and caring more about her desire to hold my daughter than my daughter's health, I didn't want her to even hold her until she could be more respectful about being told no and stop arguing and guilt tripping. After she was born, I would take her to future mother-in-law and father-in-law's house for visits, or allow mother-in-law to come over to visit even while my fiance was at work. Until one day, I was at their house for a longer visit and needed to change a poopy diaper. I took my daughter to the other room, just like I do at my parents' house as well, changed her, and could overhear my father-in-law telling my mother-in-law to stop and to calm down while I was changing her diaper. When I got back, it was extremely awkward and uncomfortable, as mother-in-law was obviously very upset. So I left about 10 minutes later. Later that day, my fiance told me that he got an angry call from his mom saying that I treat her like she's a bad person by not changing her diaper in front of them, and that she was so offended.
What? She's like, I need to see the poop.
I need to see the dirty diaper.
If I don't see it, it didn't happen.
Yeah, like, what? Why is this? How old is this mom? I
don't
need to
know.
know how old she is.
She sounds like she's 2 years old.
It sounds like it. Either 2 years old or like 80. Like she's on either end of the spectrum.
Yeah.
Something where she's just not thinking right.
No. and it's an issue. And I wouldn't want my baby around her at all.
Yeah, me neither. So weird. I do that at my parents' house too. I think she deserves privacy, and that's how it's always done on my side of the family and what I consider normal. I didn't think anything about it was weird until she started making it weird about how badly she wanted to see her get her diaper changed. Then I was creeped out. I decided I didn't want to have visits without my fiancé around after that. Fiancé had my back on the phone, and she still just wouldn't understand. My fiancé had lots of talks with his parents about respecting what we say or do as the parents and not trying to push back on everything, and we ended up having a talk with all four of us, and she has apologized so many times and never changed. But when we all four had the talk and seemed to understand more, I thought she changed. She came over a couple days later and held my daughter and was very happy. I thought maybe she finally understood. Couple weeks later, mother, father, sister, brother-in-law, and mother-in-law's mom came. We got grandma-in-law over here. They all came over for a visit. My daughter was very upset when they walked in and was crying. And mother-in-law asked to hold her and held her arms out. Then my daughter started crying even harder and clinging on to me and turning away from her. And I said, let me just get her calmed down first, and then you can, when she's a little more happy and comfortable. And she turned to sister-in-law and very loudly said, oh, wow, I guess I'm just not allowed to hold her. I guess her own grandma can't hold her. Wow, I guess I'm not allowed to hold my grandchild.
Yeah, no, you're not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So funny. That's so funny to like be in the same spot, turn, and say that to someone else.
I guess I can't do anything.
Yeah.
Because no one will let me do anything.
Right. It's like, girl, if you have a problem, say it to me, first of all. And if you have this problem, actually
Don't say
shut
it to
your
me at
mouth.
all.
Yeah, just don't.
Actually say nothing.
Actually, be quiet. My fiance even walked over and asked what just happened because she was getting so loud and making a big deal. Then sister-in-law and mother-in-law decided to go outside and talk in front of our driveway security cameras about how they don't know what's wrong with me and what's going on, that they need to do something about this and things will change, and they are her family and have a right to hold her if they want to. They said it all very angrily. I was getting notifications sent to my phone of the clips while they were talking. I excused myself to feed and hold my daughter while she slept in her nursery for the rest of their short visit, and they left very shortly after. I told her that she could hold her once she calmed down, but after that erratic behavior about not even being told no, but just once she calms down, I didn't want her to even hold her. After that, my fiance had a lot of talks with his family where they refused to apologize, and they said that I'm in the wrong for everything. His mom ended up calling me after my fiance had to basically beg her to, and she just ended up apologizing. I think just because she hadn't seen my daughter in months, and not actually because she was sorry. It was very forced. We had several visits after this, and things were fine, but just very awkward because it was very obvious she doesn't like me. I would hear from so many people about how she constantly talks about me and how she doesn't like me, and I keep her grandchild from her. I even got asked by a friend of mine who has no connection to her, has never met her, what was going on with us because his mom is telling anyone that comes into her work all about how much she doesn't like me and our problems, and it got around so much that it got to this friend.
Oh my goodness.
And two of my fiance's friends went into her work, and she vented to them, who then started asking my fiance what in the world was going on, because she was making it sound like I was being so horrible to her. I thought things were starting to get better, and I hadn't heard anything about her doing anything for a couple of months. Then I get asked by two different friends about a week apart if I booted my fiance out of the house, and that they're hearing this from multiple people. And I guess everyone is talking about how I booted my fiance out of the house and we're having problems.
Okay, they have to live in a small town.
It sounds like it.
Because how is word getting around this much?
Yeah, it's gotta be.
Yeah, this is just weird.
This is strange.
This is weird. And I think at this point, I would be talking to my husband and saying that this has gone too far. She's now telling just straight up lies.
Yeah.
We got to cut her out.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah.
My fiance and I were both so confused because I never told him to get out. And we were asking our friends to see if they can try to find out where this whole rumor started.
I wonder.
It turns out it was his mom.
Shock.
Whoa.
Shock.
Where did that come from?
Ah.
Oh, My fiance got too wasted one night and called his dad to pick him up and spend the night there. But I didn't even pun him out, and he came back early the next morning. I guess his mom told someone's mom that someone that my fiance doesn't get along with. I came into her work that I booted him out, and he came to their house all broken up, and we aren't doing well, and it spread to everyone. My fiance told his mom that what she did was wrong, and he was upset. She said she doesn't think she did anything wrong. She won't apologize. Her son's business is her business, and she has every right to talk about it to whoever she wants because our relationship affects her and her feelings too. This is hilarious.
But you're lying about your son's relationship.
Yeah. And also, like, no.
So also, it's not your business.
It's like, sure, it affects your feelings, and you have a right to have feelings about the relationship and what's going on and stuff. But, like, at the same time, like, no. That doesn't mean
time. Shut up.
yeah. Doesn't mean it's just your problems now. Like,
Yeah.
you're not, at the end of the day, you're not involved in it.
No.
When our daughter was young, for about the first 6 months, every time we saw her, she would tell us that we needed to give our daughter knockout bottles to get her to sleep through the night, and that she can't sleep good in a bassinet, only being swaddled with no pillows or blankets or stuffed animals. Every time she did this, we'd explain how knockout bottles are advised against nowadays, and would tell her about safe sleep and how we won't put all that in her bassinet with her, and why, but every time she would come over, she would keep trying to push us to do it. And I always had the same response and never listened to her advice. But it just rubbed me the wrong way that she was so pushy about things that she was repeatedly told weren't safe and that didn't affect her in any way. I'm honestly just done with this lady. She's so rude and disrespectful and hateful and won't stop. I truly don't think that she will change. She feels so entitled to my daughter that it's insane and sickening. My fiance has told her many times that if she wants to have a good relationship with our daughter, she needs to be respectful towards me and listen to boundaries that we set for our daughter and not try to argue against everything we say. She said she thinks she should be able to have a relationship with our daughter even if she doesn't respect me or treat me well because she loves our daughter still. That's hilarious.
Counterpoint. I'm not going to do anything you say.
Yeah. It's not about you, it's about me and my granddaughter's relationship, actually.
It's like going to a store and they're like, you actually can't have this item unless you pay us the amount.
Yeah.
And then you go, counterpoint, I'm not going to pay you anything and I'm
Right.
still going to take it.
I deserve to have it. It is mine now because I have it.
Thoughts.
Yeah.
And they're going to go,
Checkmate.
we're going to call the police on you now.
Yeah. My fiance and I have both told her that she needs to respect me and my boundaries if she wants a part in our daughter's life. And my fiance is now realizing that no matter how many times we've told her that, she won't actually change. By the way, I will never change in telling you that you should listen to full episodes of stories just like this one on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, whatever your favorite podcast app is. Just search OK Storytime. Go do it. There's more to this story, but I wonder what they've done in response.
It doesn't feel like a lot.
Right? Like, it feels like they just tell them, like,
Yeah.
you need to stop. You gotta apologize. You're freaking mean, and then nothing happens, and then they're just still going about things, maybe?
Yeah. I think you need
yeah.
consequences.
Absolutely. Like, show her, like, okay,
Yeah.
fine. You don't get to see the baby now.
You just don't get to come over anymore.
Yeah, I've sentenced you to 3 months. No baby.
Because that's why she keeps thinking she can get away with stuff. Because you're
Yeah.
letting her.
And maybe, maybe you're not. Maybe we just missed that.
Yeah.
Because there's something was said about, like, her apologizing just so that she could, like, see the baby again or something like
Yeah.
that. So I don't know. I forget what exactly happened there.
Yeah, there's a point where it said, like, they want to apologize and just see the baby because they hadn't seen in months.
Yeah. So maybe they did.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I'm thinking we need more. I'm thinking you're sentenced to 3 months. We'll let you see the baby if you've got good behavior.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all it needs to be.
Just how jail works.
Yeah, exactly. You can put them in mother-in-law
You can get
jail.
let in on good behavior.
yeah, exactly. But there is a little bit more to this story. He kept saying and thinking that if he talked to her, then she would understand and would stop. Really, really thought that she would listen and change. And I think now that he's realizing that he has a bit of a hard time with actually cutting her off from our daughter. He supports me. We haven't seen her since, and he wants to try to get his mom to eventually apologize. But he sometimes just says some things about the punishment of totally cutting her off seems drastic and things like that. But then when we talk more, he usually agrees. I think once she apologizes and means it, then we should consider a relationship because we've told her so many times that she can't keep acting this way and have a relationship with our child. And I think at this point, she has chosen that she would rather be hateful towards me than have a relationship with our child.
Yeah.
I don't think she's a healthy person for my daughter to be around, and she seems very unstable. She displays a lot of behavior that I would never want my daughter to think is okay or to mimic. And that's the end of that story. Whoa.
Agreed.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah. She sounds bad.
Yeah, I mean, maybe there's a way to still have like a relationship with the mom and then just still is like, okay, we're going to go hang out. We're going to have dinner together.
Yeah.
Babies with OP's mom.
Yeah.
So it's us. We get to be there, but because you're freaking mean, baby doesn't get to be here.
I agree.
You know what I mean?
think something like that so you can see that she's improving or see whether or not she's improving,
Yeah.
but the baby's not there. Or I wouldn't invite her into the home anymore
Yeah.
because she's shown that she doesn't know what boundaries are.
Sounds like it. Yeah. I would agree. Yeah, and see what she does.
You got enough going on with your baby. You don't need mother-in-law.
Baby's got a lot on her plate, all right?
So many. My father's fiance took my baby to the mall without my permission.
Mall baby.
I live a 5-minute walk away from a mall, and they opened up their Christmas display a few days ago. My husband and I were planning on taking our son, who is 8 months old, there for his first Santa visit this past Saturday. By the way, this comes from Santa Visit Throw. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Sophia.
I'm Riley.
I'm Carly.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we'd do. So let us know what you would do in the comments. My dad's fiance is a very self-centered person. Most recently, she tried to post about my pregnancy on social media before I did, and confirmed their wedding date, which has since been changed twice at my sister's birthday party. I'm not fond of her, but she's not usually too hard to tolerate. My immediate paternal family gets together for a small party every year on Christmas Eve. This time, my dad and his fiancée are hosting. I was going to attend it with my husband and our son. Last Thursday, I had a business meeting while my husband was also at work. My dad and his fiancée came over to babysit. I spent some time chatting with them before leaving, and I mentioned our weekend plans, including how we were taking our baby to see Santa. When I got home, my dad's fiancée showed me pictures of herself with my baby and the mall Santa. I don't even have pictures of just my son. She's in all of them. She explained my dad had wanted to take a nap, so she took my son out on a stroll. She went to the mall, saw the Christmas display, and couldn't resist taking my son there herself. Let me make this clear. I'm not too much of a Christmas person, and neither is my husband, but she was well aware we were looking forward to doing this with our son. I'm also upset that my dad napped while babysitting, because we wouldn't have had them watch our baby if we knew it would ultimately just be her. And I never gave either of them permission to remove my child from my place while babysitting. I confronted her and said we wanted to take him ourselves, but she acted confused and claimed she didn't realize it was a big deal and just wanted to have some fun with the baby. My dad also dismissed my feelings and said I was being dramatic. I grabbed my son and told him to leave. My husband was as upset as I was. We decided we wouldn't attend the Christmas party anymore. We'll figure out something else, but we don't want to spend our baby's first Christmas with her. We made it official over the weekend. A lot of my family has replied that they're not coming if I don't, so now my dad is begging me to change my mind. There's still over a month left before Christmas, and I want to sort this out as soon as possible. I don't want to attend, but I also don't want to ruin the party. Am I the a-hole? And there are some relevant comments.
Power play right here. You know what I really want to see?
Yeah.
A picture of the dad and the fiance.
Yeah.
And their ages.
Why?
Because if like the dad's like, I don't know, 57 and he's dating
a
like
younger
30-year-old
woman who
or like
wants a
20-year-old.
child. That's a good point. That's a good point. Yeah.
But if that was the case, I feel like we've already
Yeah, they would
said
have
it.
mentioned. Yeah. No, I think that you do not owe anyone. You don't owe them coming to Christmas or anything. It's not really your fault if other people decide that they don't want to come.
Yeah. Carly, would you go
Would I go where?
to this Christmas?
Oh, It would really depend on like the level of apology
Yeah.
and the like agreement of taking my like future considerations into like their head. Like if they're just like, yeah, and I would do it again, like I don't care, then yeah, we're
Well,
probably
that's what
distancing
it feels
ourselves.
like, you
Right,
know? It feels
exactly.
like they're not taking any responsibility for it.
Yeah. If she like actually felt devastated and didn't know, maybe.
I feel like the equivalent of this is you can take away her, like, you know how life insurance works with the wills? Just like put your name in where her name is in the will.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the only equivalent thing here.
Yeah.
Take all her inheritance from your dad.
Take it all. We got a downvoted "you're the a-hole" comment. Okay, wow. I'm not nearly as invested in you as you are in me.
This is her response to the downvoted comment.
But you're making up a lot of stuff, and I feel the need to clarify. They didn't visit and offered to babysit because I suddenly needed to leave. They came over to babysit. I invited my dad over with that purpose, and he agreed. No, she is not the grandmother. Marrying my dad doesn't automatically make her family. No one calls her grandma. We all refer to her by her first name. He already has 2 grandmothers. He doesn't need a third one. It wasn't sweet of her to take my son out. You don't take other people's children anywhere without permission. You want to document an outing? Take a selfie. Don't do the thing I specifically said I was already going to do. She was well aware I was looking forward to taking him there myself. I genuinely have no idea how it could be entitled or selfish of me to be upset one of my child's first was stolen like that. She did mean harm. Again, she knew I was looking forward to doing it myself. If I didn't care about my dad's happiness, I'd refuse to be around his fiancé entirely. I don't care what my family does. I wouldn't mind if the people who are backing out of the party changed their minds. I genuinely don't care whether my dad marries her. We're all adults, and I'm not using my child for anything. I don't care about being the center on the family universe, especially not compared to my dad's fiancé, who makes literally every gathering about her. And based on your tirade about your own father, you're obviously projecting. You can reply to this if you want, but I won't give you any more attention than this. And super unexpected mommy says, not the a-hole. Does she always play dumb when she purposely stirs up trouble? OP says most times, yeah. And my dad usually buys it, which makes it pretty difficult to deal with.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I'm curious on how your dad and your mom split up, because that might be another root problem.
Yeah, they would have, because she said there's 2 grandmothers. Yeah. So, yeah, I wonder what happened there and if there was any fault.
Yeah, because self-sabotage feels like it's coming from your dad.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, it's like he's paired up with a a self-centered woman. I don't even know how to say that one. And he's like a codependent male. And so, like, that combo, oh, my gosh.
He's like, whatever you want, dear, whatever you want. She's like, I want to take the baby to Santa. And she's like, all right, dear, don't you think that might be? And she's like, no talking. And he's like, all right, dear, you're right. Funny.
Yeah.
Founder Better 2204 says, my parents did this with my daughter. At first, I was upset, but then I realized at 1-year-old, she won't remember it. I just took her myself for pictures. Now that my parents are gone and my daughter is an adult, I love those pictures. OP says, I know my son won't remember this, but I will. I didn't want this woman to take him. I wanted to do it with my husband. And there will never be a point in which I like these pictures. Even if she wasn't in them, they would still remind me that she took that moment away from us. We'll probably take our son again anyway, but I can tell this will be in my head. Secure employee says, go ahead and take your son to see Santa. He won't remember that he was already there and get the pics you want. As for the party, does your husband's family do anything on Christmas Eve? Maybe you can get together with them. If you see them on Christmas Day or if they live far away, then get with a family that won't go to your dad's party. Show him that there are consequences for his and his fiance's actions. OP says not on Christmas Eve, but some of my in-laws get together every year for Christmas. My husband doesn't want to go because it's a lot of people and they're pretty loud. My maternal family also has yearly Christmas parties I attend when I can, but it's in a different state and we can't travel comfortably right now. My mom and stepdad are going to Europe for the holidays. OP replies to a question about why the Christmas display is up so early. It might be a cultural thing. I don't live in the US. We don't have Thanksgiving and Halloween isn't wildly celebrated. I've seen Christmas displays start as early as October. The mall near my place wasn't even the first to do it this time. Quinoa Oat says, did she have a baby seat properly installed in her car in order to take your child to the mall? Opie says she didn't drive there. She just put him in a stroller and walked. I'm already angry, but I'd be even more furious had she taken him more than 5 minutes away from my place without permission. And there is an update 20 days later. Do you have any thoughts? And we're only halfway through this, so there seems to be a lot more that could happen.
I don't know. I mean, self-centered woman. I'm invested in the plot now. Prediction? Everyone rebelled against the soon-to-be mother-in-law.
Yeah.
And they broke up.
Yeah, I hope so. Well, I don't know. The thing is that I feel like if dad continues in this relationship and doesn't acknowledge, his flaws, then he's going to lose a lot of people in his family.
Dad's just not thinking with the right head.
Dang it.
That's what it be. It happens.
Fell right into it. Update 20 days later. A little under 2 weeks after my first post, my husband and I took our baby to a different mall and visited Santa there. Their display wasn't as big as the one from the mall near our place, but it was more colorful and they had a nicer tree. We explored the area with our son afterwards, and I came very close to tears watching the way he reacted to everything. We also took the opportunity to get some Christmas shopping and charity stuff done. Overall, we had a wonderful day. It didn't make either of us forget what happened, but I'll cherish those memories forever. In other news, out of the 15 people who had been invited to the party, not including my son, only 4 are still attending. 2 people from my paternal family and 2 from my dad's fiancés, the only 2 she invited. My relatives who didn't back out of the party are my dad's cousins, who is visiting from a different country and staying at his place, and my grandmother, who doesn't seem to understand what's going on. I want to stress that getting my family members involved wasn't my intention. I told both of my cousins what happened because we planned Secret Santa for the party every year. That's where the news spread from. There was also a weird domino effect going on with different parts of the family. I'm not coming, so neither are my parents type stuff, which contributed to the amount of people who backed out. Communication with my dad has been complicated. He's blaming his fiancé for causing the problem, but also me for being emotional and ruining everything. The first time we tried to talk, he made a very offensive comment I couldn't overlook, and then accused me of being dramatic over that too. Our second conversation was better, but didn't solve much. I was ready to call it quits and accept we never agree on this, but my dad called me a few days ago with his fiancé. She didn't really apologize. Instead, she reiterated she just wanted to do something fun and didn't think it would be a big deal, but didn't mean to upset me. I don't believe her.
You know what I just heard?
What?
I'm sorry you feel that way.
Yeah.
That's what she,
Yeah. I'm
what
so
she
sorry
said.
you feel that way. I didn't mean to. I think she's lying though.
You just miscommunicated the way I was going about
I
it.
just misunderstood. I was doing a nice thing. But the thing is that what she's saying here is I was actually doing a good thing,
Mhm.
and you should appreciate it.
Yep. And I'm sorry you feel that way.
Yeah.
I'm sorry you feel hurt
Mm-hmm.
and mad and emotional.
Yeah. Knowing her, I didn't buy any of that. I told her there were numerous things she could have done that weren't the one thing she knew I was already planning on doing with my child, and didn't require removing him from my place without permission. There was no way she hadn't realized it was important to me. She just didn't care. She tried denying it at first, but couldn't give me a better explanation. After a few minutes, she started crying and said, "You get to have special moments with the baby every day. Why can't I have an hour?" That led to another small argument.
Is this emotional manipulation?
I vote yes. It's ridiculous because so her first thing is just deny. It's I didn't know you wanted to take. I was doing a nice thing, and now it's well I want to spend time with the baby, and you never let me have time with the baby, and you always get time with the baby. When this is Opie's baby, and right now you're not the mom, you're not the dad, you're not grandma. You don't really have any say
Yeah.
over what time you get to spend with the baby. Opie continues. That led to another small argument. In the end, I told them I didn't know what they thought would happen with that call. I'm not going to their Christmas party, and neither of them will ever babysit my son or any other child I might have in the future. Again. My dad has since apologized specifically for the phone call, but I don't care anymore. I'm done losing hair over this, and I'm done being treated like my feelings, boundaries, and authority as my child's mother don't matter. I'm not cutting ties with my dad, but I'll do whatever I can to make sure nothing like this happens again. And I like the information diet idea some of you suggested. I definitely feel no need to share any news about my son with my dad's fiancé. As for the holidays, my eldest cousin is throwing a small party at her place on Christmas Eve, which mostly everyone who backed out of my dad's party is attending. On Christmas Day, we'll visit my in-laws and then return home to relax with our baby and play video games.
Oh, dude, video
Sounds like
games on
great.
Christmas Day.
It's like a solid plan. Sam and I played Boomerang Foo with our parents.
Oh, yeah, I can imagine how that went.
My mom, this game is stupid. I hate this game. I keep dying. Next year, we're traveling out of state to see my maternal family and go to the beach. Sounds good. By the way, you should travel with us by listening to full episodes of stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime. There is a little
Man.
bit left to this story, but do you have
How-
any final thoughts?
How is this going to impact your relationship with your dad going forward outside of holidays?
Well, it seems like they're having multiple conversations where they're getting somewhere.
Yeah.
This has been a very chaotic month, and I have no desire to waste more energy on this, so I probably won't update again. I'm not 100% satisfied with how everything worked out, but I'm glad the situation's been mostly dealt with. And this might actually be the most excited I've been about Christmas in a while. Thank you, and happy holidays. Comments. Mela says, why can't you have an hour of special moments? Because this is your baby? I don't think she'll ever get it, OP. OP says, my son is the first baby born in my paternal family in 2 decades. So I was always a bit worried things would get too overwhelming. Turns out most of my relatives are very respectful, but this isn't the first time I've had trouble with her and my dad over something related to my son. And like I mentioned in my first post, she's extremely self-centered. Part of me almost believes she didn't mean to harm me, simply because I'm pretty sure she doesn't think about anyone else's feelings.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, she didn't mean to harm you because she just doesn't care about you at all.
She just didn't think of it, man.
And OP says, I spoke with my cousins about why they backed out, and there were basically 3 reasons why so many people did. 1, they prefer to spend Christmas with me. 2, my dad's fiancé tends to go a bit overboard with the decorations when they're the ones hosting. Some of my family members went through a very traumatic incident on Christmas about 30 years ago, so even those that still celebrate with us aren't really Christmas people. 3, some people were only coming because of someone else who backed out. And
Yeah, that whole situation just sounded like World War I to me.
yeah,
Like,
just
oh,
everything was.
This thing happened and all the countries had it. Yeah.
Yeah, your dad is the Axis powers, and you guys are all the Ally powers. But that is the end of that story. My in-laws planned a vacation at our honeymoon hotel. Same dates, same location.
What? Do they want to be you too?
My fiance and I have our wedding coming up in April. We had brainstormed for a while on where best to spend our honeymoon. We went over the most popular and well-known places, but then landed on a more offbeat destination that I felt would truly be a great place for us to start our life as a married couple. By the way, this comes from Impressive Garlic 488, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Sophia.
And I'm Savannah.
And I'm Dakota.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we'd do. So let us know what you would do in the comments. And Opie says, I've been looking forward to it just being the 2 of us. I know he has a really hectic work schedule, and we're going to make the most out of this. A couple of days ago, he told me that his parents had been impressed by how hyped I was about it, and we're planning on going there for a vacation too, largely overlapping with our dates. No. And then he needs to say, no. They're staying at the same hotel as us. No. I was livid.
Weird.
They can go any other time. Why now? He said he had suggested that, but his mom said they had taken time off for the wedding too, and it worked well into their plans. Also, that since we're going to be going back, it'll allow them to maybe see us a few times before we leave. I was almost in tears. I was so angry. He tried to reassure me, saying that they had promised it'll be 2 separate things and they won't be inserting themselves into our honeymoon. They want us to enjoy it, and they'd be doing their own thing. I want to believe it, but I know his mom. I like her as a soon-to-be mother-in-law, but she can be very clingy and routinely laments how far he and now us are from them. So I just have a feeling the 2 plans are not going to be as independent as he thinks they'll be. I think you should say that you're changing your honeymoon. I think you say, oh, yeah, we actually found like a better deal and we're actually going to be doing it here.
Wait, so
Different country.
this is like on purpose that they specifically want to like be with them.
They're phrasing it as like, we're not going to be around you, but they're going to be there the same date, same hotel. So obviously they're going to, I feel like, try and see them, which is very weird because this is their honeymoon.
Yeah.
I vented about it to my parents too. My mom agreed with me that this isn't right. My dad's more on the fence about it. He doesn't think everything is ruined. I've demanded my fiancé to make them change their plans. He says he asked them to. They promised to do their own thing. What can he do? Tell them he doesn't believe them and call them liars? Yes. Say, I don't believe you. You guys are all freaking liars. You want to hang out with us so bad. Leave us alone.
We're just so cool. You guys want to be us. Which is fine. I take that as a compliment. But no! My time, my location, my dates. Bye.
Yeah. I messed up here and said if that's what it takes. He got quiet. I realized that was too much and sincerely apologized for crossing the line. This has been eating me up. I was envisioning a certain type of honeymoon and this happened. Am I the a-hole? And we've got comments. Maybe, that wasn't the nicest comment, but you're not wrong.
Yeah. I don't condone violent words, even though that wasn't really violent. But, I think that you just want to get your point across. And, if that's the only way that they'll understand it, then I don't know.
That's what it's gonna be.
That's what it's gotta take.
It's your honeymoon.
Sorry.
It's not take your parents on your honeymoon day.
Yeah.
Because that doesn't exist.
That's the week after.
Yeah. Comment 1 says, not the a-hole. I would personally change the hotel or the dates or both or stay at a different hotel the dates they're going to be there. Also, a no cell phone policy so they can't get a hold of you. But to be honest, this is a husband problem and not an in-law problem. He should have shut her down point blank at even the suggestion of going to your honeymoon destination at the same time. OP says, dates can't be changed really. I'd be okay with that, but I know it wouldn't work for him. He had to move around some work stuff for us to finally land on these dates. A different hotel could work, but this is a coastal area. And I really want a hotel close to the beach, but I'll start looking for some others too. This hotel had really good reviews too. And because it's not a huge city or something, if people want to meet, it's not too inconvenient, which sucks. Because what if they decide they do want to meet? They are going to want to meet you. And what if we meet on the beach? I'd have to change what I plan on wearing too. I'm just really hoping they change their plan because quite honestly, if I'm the one that has to change plans, I might not end up being a good daughter-in-law. And we've got an update, but what do you think OP should do?
Well, did they sit down and have a talk?
I don't know. OP's kind of just said lashed out a little bit.
Yeah.
But, she's expressed that she wants him to have them change it. And he's just like, well, I can't do anything about it. So that's it. I feel like he needs to go to his parents and have a real talk about, hey, we're not super comfortable with you guys coming.
We want to have our own time.
Yeah.
It is our honeymoon.
Mm-hmm.
And that's usually you don't bring people along. Not that we're bringing you along, but usually people aren't there.
Yeah. In a way, it feels like you invited yourself to our honeymoon.
Yeah.
In every way.
Yeah. And I'd be like, don't you think it's a little weird?
Maybe appeal to your mom and say, how would you feel if your mother-in-law came to your guys' honeymoon?
That is true.
Yeah.
That's true.
I think he can have a nice conversation and try and actually make them understand. Update. I thought over this more. I was heartened by this response here because I thought I was the one overreacting. But I saw that most people agree that what they're doing isn't right. I really didn't want to change plans, so I planned to talk to him again, speaking respectfully about his parents, but firm, because last time I had gone over the line a bit, which had derailed our conversation. We met yesterday after work. I raised the issue with him again. I said that he knows how much I'd been looking forward to our honeymoon. I only plan on having it once, and his parents being there will ruin it for both of us. I also said that I didn't want to change anything about it. Not the hotel or the destination. It just wasn't fair. He said he doesn't like that they're coming either, but they're giving their word to not interfere. But to me, it's not about believing them. Just that the honeymoon I had in mind is going to get ruined with them around. I told him that this wasn't a trivial annoyance for me. This was actually making me unhappy, and I need him to do something about it. He said he'll handle it. Okay, good work, OP. You expressed your feelings, told him this is not something you can push aside, and he said he'll handle it.
Yeah, but how
Is
is
he
he
gonna?
gonna handle it?
I don't
though?
know.
He's gonna be like, I'll handle it. So my wife has been nagging me.
Yeah,
and
my
blah, blah, blah." And it's
annoying
like, oh.
wife.
Yeah,
They're like,
and then he's gonna blame it all on OP, and
Yeah.
then it's just gonna be like, what? How dare she? Now we don't like her. We have
Yeah.
bad taste in our mouth.
Yeah, OP's fiance is like, yeah, the old ball and chain. She hates you guys. Well, first he told me that knowing his parents, especially his mom, she's going to feel slighted by us. We're going to be living a 3-hour flight away from them. so it's not like we're going to see them too often. But he said he just wanted me to know that was going to happen. I said, I'm fine with that. Probably could have been more tactful, but he found it amusing. He said he'll handle it, so I waited. Last night, he told me his parents were canceling their plan. Huzzah!
There you go.
Success!
It worked.
We've done it.
Yay.
I asked him how it went. He said it went fine. They said it would be 2 separate plans, but he told them their plan was becoming a problem and asked them to change their plan. It would mean a lot to him. So they did. They hadn't booked tickets yet, but they're looking into either getting a refund on their hotel reservations, or my fiancé suggested delaying it to some time later in the future. I told him I was sorry that he'd been put in this position, but I was so happy about it. I started tearing up too. This had just been bearing on me so heavily, and I was so glad I was back to the way I have it in my mind. Also, I know the stress of wedding and work has been bearing on him too, and I don't like adding this extra stress on him either. He said it was very short and simple combo with his parents. I thought there'd be a big argument because he said they hadn't been swayed previously. My parents were also really happy for me. My dad thinks it wouldn't hurt to call my mother-in-law and just apologize for what happened. Not in a, I'm sorry I did this way, but more of a, I'm sorry this happened way. My mom thinks there's no need. My fiance thinks it's up to me. I think that too. I'm really glad I came here and found out I wasn't overreacting, or I wouldn't have had the confidence to ask for my honeymoon back. Thank you. And by the way, I would thank you if you listen to full episodes with stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime. There is a little bit left to this story. Any final thoughts?
I mean, they changed it, and it doesn't seem like there were any problems.
So far, so far.
Seems like it went well.
Seems like you got your way, and you're gonna wear those teeny little bitty
polka dot bikinis.
Yeah, on the beach, and no one's gonna say a word. There won't be any apologies. His parents had asked for pictures from us during our honeymoon. I'm not sending crap. His mom complained about me to my mom, that I'm not making an effort to become a part of the family, how hostile I was, and how I didn't understand the importance of relationships. My mom stood up for me and said I have no duty to anyone except my soon-to-be husband. I take back whatever I might have said about me generally liking my soon-to-be mother-in-law. I'm done. They've canceled their vacation. That's what I wanted. I'm going to smile for the family pictures at the wedding, and once we fly out, I'm done with her. And that's the end of the story. I am concerned you're going to have to see her a little bit.
Yeah.
In terms of like when you have a family and all that. But for now.
Yeah, for now, if that's what you feel is necessary, I
Alright.
guess go ahead and do it. Do what your little teeny weeny heart desires.
But that's the end of that story. My fiance humiliated me at a business event in front of my clients.
Why would you do that?
I, female 45, have a fiance, male 55, who is a retired military officer. I own a successful company I started 7 years ago and have a small staff of 25. Very nice, very nice. I worked my way through college, paying as I went. Therefore, I graduated in my early 30s with a double major in accounting and business management. Double businessy. I'm very proud of that. By the way, this comes from Entrepreneur512, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Sophia.
I'm Angie.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we do. So let us know what you would do in the comments. And OP says, for a little background, I worked hard for my degrees and have zero debt. Nice.
Nice.
I know it took me longer than the typical student going full-time to college after high school. I worked full-time to pay as I took classes. I went to junior college first, then finished at a 4-year. I took 2 classes per semester for a long time. But I finally made it. Nice. I have been teased that junior college isn't the same as going 4 years at a major university. Well, I'm proud to have done both and feel the education I received at junior college was excellent. Who cares? Junior schmunior. You've got a successful business.
You did it.
I worked as an accountant for some large corporations, as well as programming and IT. I started my company doing similar support to large and small companies alike. I have a wonderful staff. I manage the contracts, punt off meetings, sales and consulting staff. I also do some of the consulting and most of the sales contracts. My sister is my office manager, and I am blessed in so many ways to have her. I was dating my now fiancé before I started my company, and we recently got engaged. Congratulations. Everything seemed to be perfect, except He keeps introducing me as a bookkeeper. That's not my title.
Huh. Interesting.
No disrespect intended to them or the profession. My issue is that I have worked hard to get where I am. I am an accountant, graduate with a double major, and a successful business owner. You have to say all of those.
All of them.
Yeah. Now, because you kept saying bookkeeper, you have to say, this is my wife. This is my fiance. She's an accountant, double major, successful business owner.
Yeah, it has to be like Daenerys Targaryen in Hunger
Mhm.
Games. Just like Daenerys Targaryen, mother of dragons, whatever else.
Later of the 12 rounds. I don't know.
breaker of chains, like
Breaker of chains.
all her long list of names.
I want all of them now. He could pick almost any other title to introduce me as, but he chooses bookkeeper. I have asked him many, many times in private to stop calling me a bookkeeper, as it implies to my clients and business associates that he doesn't respect me or what I have accomplished. He said he doesn't see the big deal or the difference and continues to do so. So I actually don't care what you think, because when your fiance says, hey, that hurts my feelings, you stop doing it.
And it's also like, hey, fiance, what do you know?
Yeah.
What do you know?
Are you a double major?
Yeah.
Owner of a successful business?
Like, sure, bookkeeping is maybe a small part of running my whole business, but I'm not some secretary.
Yeah. It's like, when you have a doctor and they don't refer to them as doctor. They refer to them as, I
like
don't know.
nurse or something.
Yeah, like something like that.
Or
Like it doesn't mean that those titles are lesser, but
Sure.
it does not mean that you're saying the right one.
yeah, exactly.
I recently pulled him aside and asked him to just introduce me as a consultant at the event we were going to. While there, we were talking to a prospective client for my company, and he says, she's come a long way for a bookkeeper. Shut up. I'm gonna punch you.
Oh
You're gonna see my fist coming from a long way. I know my face had a full blush at that, excused myself, and walked away. We had both driven there, so I got in my car and went home. We both own our own townhomes. Honestly, if he doesn't listen to you, this is a huge red flag
Yeah.
before marriage.
Honestly, it is, because it's not like this is some sort of coworker that's doing
Yeah.
this. This is your literal fiance.
Who you have explained to why this upsets you.
Yeah. It's such an easy fix and such a disrespectful thing to do. Like, you're literally just undermining your partner's job.
Yeah. I sent him a text to let him know I was leaving and would talk to him later. He thinks I'm overreacting. My family thinks he's a controlling butt that doesn't respect me or women. I am inclined to believe your family.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what to think now. He seems so supportive when we are together, but not when we are around other people. Well, that is important.
Yeah.
That's important. If he can't do it in front of other people, then it's not really supportive.
Yeah.
He tends to treat me like a subordinate. Nice kid playing with the adults. He does talk down to me in front of my family, but I always assumed he was joking. Badly. So am I the a-hole for leaving and overreacting? And we have an update, but what do you think?
Not at all. I think this was not an overreaction at all. Because, I'm sure the parents and the family members see more than what we're getting in this
Yeah.
story. I'm sure there's other situations where he's a bit more controlling and disrespectful. And I would believe them from this story. Because it's, the psychology behind this is that he's somehow threatened by what you're doing and intimidated because he doesn't feel as adequate, he doesn't feel as adequate in his position or his accomplishments. So in public, what he's doing is talking down on you so that other people can see him in a better light.
Yeah. And you just told us right now that he does this in other scenarios.
Yeah.
So I feel like we don't marry this guy.
I think we got to boot this guy out.
Update. I had a conversation with him after a few days. He feels I'm lucky to have him and need to listen to his advice more and not overreact.
Shut up.
The attitude, along with reading everyone's replies, thinks I have called it off with him. Nice.
Yay!
I need someone who is proud of me and caring. My family responded by buying champagne. LOL. By the way, you can listen to full episodes with stories just like this while drinking a glass of champagne if you can legally drink. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime. There is a teeny tiny little bit left in this next update. But do you have any final thoughts?
I think this is great. I think the fact that your family came over with champagne speaks numbers.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's wonderful. That obviously this was a bad relationship that you should have been out of probably a long time ago.
I think so.
And now
I
you're
think
there.
so. Yeah, because it seems like they all did not like this guy.
Yeah.
So glad you are free to not be a bookkeeper, but a accountant, double major, owner of a company.
Just be who you are.
Update 2. Had another conversation with the ex-fiancé. Now that I had time to get my emotions under control, he was willing to let it go.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
I laughed, ah ha ha ha, and told him I'm fine, and so are my emotions. I told him about the post and that he should read the replies. Let's just say he was not happy. I did say no names were used, just me and I and him. Here is the total shocking part. He wanted to know what I was going to give him for his help with my company. After the shock wore off, I handed him $1 and walked away. Told the family and my brothers wanted to pay him a visit. I told them I handled it and gave him $1. We all laughed and went to the store and got more champagne. God, I love my family.
Oh, good.
That's amazing.
Family's so important in times like these.
Yeah, when you have scummy ex-fiancés
Yeah.
to deal with.
Yeah.
I am so glad your family is so supportive.
My fiance openly talked about our private matters and dismissed me being heard about it.
Dude, shut up! Trigger warning for transphobic language.
I, 32 male, have been with my fiance, 34 female, for 2 years now. And I found out recently that she's been sharing intimate details about our spicy sleep life with pretty much anyone who asks, including friends, coworkers, and strangers she's just met.
Yeah, that's, yikes.
By the way, this comes from Throwaway Drag 11, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit, and we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we would do, so let us know what you would do in the comments. And OP says, for backstory, I was fat and depressed most of my life, and at 29, I finally stuck with a diet and exercise plan that works with me. And the results have been great. Without trying to brag, I have a lean, toned body.
Okay, all right.
He said, without trying to brag,
I'm hot.
I've got in shape.
Oh, yeah.
Think of a swimmer's body with some free weights added, since these activities are my favorite ways to work out. Last year's Halloween was the first time I felt confident enough to wear a revealing outfit to try and show off a bit. I have pretty curly hair, and I've always admired men that could pull off androgynous looks. That Halloween, I went as Dr. Frankenfurter.
Stop, I love you. You're great. You're great.
Oh, and we have a description.
Stop it.
My outfit was a corset, fishnets, heels, a fake pearl necklace, and a biker jacket in case I got cold.
You're exactly who you think you are.
You are
Yeah, exactly.
You know who you are, and you're
Mhm,
rocking
mhm,
it.
And it's true.
My fiance absolutely went wild when she saw me in it.
Doy.
And was probably the...
Don't we all want our partners to wear Dr. Frankenfurter outfits?
And you know, hadn't thought of it before. Yeah.
My boyfriend and I went to see Rocky Horror, and I said, you should try that on.
And was probably the spiciest I'd ever seen her that night. So we had spicy sleep while I was still in the outfit.
Stop.
Heels and all, I hope.
Damn.
Since then, she's asked me if I would occasionally dress in lingerie for her. I don't really get any spicy-related pleasure from wearing them, but she likes it, so it became a semi-regular part of our spicy sleep life. Now I have a collection of corsets, garter belts, fishnets, stockings, thongs, and pantyhose.
You are exactly who you think you are.
I don't wear them regularly, and I wouldn't wear them at all if it wasn't for my fiance. I guess she must have told her friends about it because one of my friends is dating one of her friends, and he shared a screenshot of their text saying that I like to dress in drag.
Okay, see, that is inappropriate at that point. Because,
The most that I thought this, like,
yeah.
that I think is, like, an acceptable thing is, like, maybe your, like, closest, most trusted
Yes.
friend or maybe a small group of them get some like details of like, oh
Yes.
my God, guess what's happening kind of thing.
I think that's personally, I think that's okay. It varies, relationship to relationship.
It
I
should
think
not be making it out of that.
No, absolutely not. And also, those friends should have never told their partners. That's incredibly inappropriate.
Yeah.
I wouldn't, if my friend came to me and told me something that they were intimate that they were doing with their partner, I would not go and then tell my partner or other people. That's completely inappropriate.
And also, though, if you did tell your partner, I would hope that it was because maybe they were also there and were also just receiving the information.
yes.
If I was the partner and got that
Not
information,
then text that person.
I would never go back to my
Idiot.
friend originally and
Yeah.
be like, "Pfft, so you like to do this?
Yeah.
No.
Gross.
Shut up.
Gross.
You're just jealous because
Gross.
he's hot in a
Yeah.
Frankenfurter costume.
He's a freaking hottie and you're not.
You couldn't pull off that corset and
No,
heels.
sir. You're not who you think you are.
He asked me if it was true, making sure to let me know he wasn't going to judge me.
Then why are you asking? Then literally why? Oh, I'm not going to judge you, but is it true?
Is it true that my girlfriend goes wild for me? Yeah.
I know. Honestly, you respond like, oh, hell yeah. My girlfriend loves it.
Yeah.
You should try it, dude.
Yeah.
That's how you respond.
And I told him what I typed above. But obviously, I was pissed that so many people knew the intimate details about our spicy sleep life. I confronted my fiance about it, and it's important to know that she's a pretty free spirit when it comes to spicy proclivity. When I asked her why she shared that information, she said, "We all talk about our spicy sleep lives in the group chat."
Love that. I think that when you have close friends, I think especially before you get into like a committed relationship, I
Yeah.
think there is a level of like honesty, especially in like female relationships. I can't speak on male, but where you are telling a lot of what happened
Right.
in detail on these dates that you went on. However, when you then get into a relationship, you should start telling a little less. There are certain people I think
I was
that
gonna
like
say, I
you
think
can
it still depends on friend to friend.
No, it does.
And you need to know both your partner's comfortability with it and your friends.
Yes. I think there are still people in my life that I am a lot more honest with than, everyone. You should know who to tell and who not to tell.
Yeah.
And also, like, if you should, what to tell.
Yeah.
And your partner clearly doesn't know that.
I asked who else knew and why she thought it was okay to share, and she said, "Stop blowing this up. I've only told a few coworkers and my friends whenever we talk about spicy sleep." I got really mad and left to stay at a friend's that night. And I told her that I was seriously reconsidering whether I wanted to be in this relationship or not. Now she's alternating between trying to get me to come home so we can talk and telling me that I am blowing things out of proportion because there's nothing wrong with what we do. I know there's nothing wrong with what we do, but I consider it private. And I honestly feel a bit emasculated. No. You knew who you are.
You know who you
know who you are.
You know
Keep
who you
it.
are.
I know wearing lingerie doesn't make me any more or less of a man, but emotionally I still feel that way. I'm not even really sure why I'm here. I think I just need to talk to people on the internet because it's not comfortable to talk about this stuff with anyone in real life. See, so now I'm feeling too like you and your fiance are at opposite extremes of the scale of
Yeah.
comfortability, and it just wasn't talked about. And I
Yeah.
think, like, personally for me, I would say, dude, like, don't re-question the whole relationship, but definitely be like, and going forward, here's my
Please do not-
comfortability with
yeah,
this.
Please do not talk about this stuff.
And then if you still hear of it happening, then a boundary's been crossed.
I agree. I agree.
I'm just wondering fully if she just didn't realize.
I think there is a level of that because some people are a lot more open, but I think that you should talk to your partners about it.
100% should. And you are totally valid for still being uncomfortable. And if that is your breaking point, sure. But I feel like if you wanted to, you can set that and keep going.
Yeah, I feel like usually there's like I don't know. I feel like it's kind of not maybe easy, but it does seem kind of easy to know which things should be told and which not. And
Yeah.
but I guess she didn't pick that up.
I really don't know how to get over this. If I should get over this, or if I'm just being too sensitive. I love her more than anyone in the world, but she's shown she doesn't care if her actions make me feel bad. My head's a mess, and any advice is appreciated. And we have some comments. Deleted says, "It's literally emasculating you for her spicy hobby. which you're willing to do to appease her desires.
Wait,
It's literally emasculating you for her spicy hobby.
I'm trying to figure out if this person is anti-drag from that sentence, because it kind of sounds like you're anti-drag and you
does.
think that it's emasculating for
Yeah.
him to be in drag, which you're dead wrong about
That is exactly what it's saying.
So you're
and
telling
that's
me
so
Tim
wrong.
Curry as Dr. Frankenfurter is not a freaking man, like piece of hunk in that role? Not that Dr. Frankenfurter is man, but that Tim Curry is not hot in that role? You're lying. You're lying to me.
That's a heck of a sacrifice. She isn't even capable of admitting she shouldn't have shared that without your permission. She is wrong in every way possible. That would be a one-way ticket to make me walk on eggshells around her. So you can do things for her, but she isn't willing to do things for you, like keep it private? She needs to apologize, understand boundaries, and be a better person. I do think that she could apologize and understand boundaries.
You're like half right.
But I don't think that she's, like, I think she's just that kind of person. I think she's just open.
I agree. She is crossing boundaries. She is an a-hole for saying, oh, like, what's the big deal?
And
And not
she
listening.
does need an apology, 100%.
But this person is coming from the idea that this is a, like, sacrifice.
right.
I mean, literally said sacrifice for OP.
OP was like, I'm not really, like, against doing it. Like,
OP dressed as Dr. Frankenfurter.
by choice.
By choice.
Because he felt hot.
Yes, because Dr. Frankenfurter is hot. What are we getting here?
The funny part is, I don't really think Dr. Frankenfurter's that hot.
It's okay where we have different.
But the fit, but
the
picturing
fit.
the fit.
The fit.
The fit. Now, every time you see her friends and coworkers, they're going to see you in a skimpy lace. No! Because they're probably normal people who aren't imagining their friends' partners in lingerie.
Strange comment. 1, they haven't seen a picture of him. And
Right.
3, like, OP went out as Dr. Frankenfurter. Why are
They've
we?
seen it!
They've seen it. They've seen it.
Good luck, man. She sucks for that, but I don't know if it's relationship ending. She just needs to ask you first.
Last sentence.
Dude, you're confusing me. There's more to this commenter.
This commenter makes no sense. I'm like, yeah, okay, no. Yeah, that's a good point. No, take a side.
Also, don't do anything you don't want to anymore. I know you say you don't mind it's for her, but if a part of you doesn't want to do it, don't.
What, did we not read the story? OP said he's not turned on by it. It doesn't mean that he doesn't want to do it.
OP says, I think you were able to articulate some of the things I feel in a way I couldn't. Thanks for commenting.
Okay, well,
Deleted responds, what happens behind closed doors must stay behind closed doors. I understand if she talked about it to close friends. Maybe she didn't know your boundaries. But invading your privacy and degrading your dignity to strangers, coworkers by talking about something so intimate is not okay. It really shows the lack of morality and boundaries on her part. To top it off, she has been trying to make you feel guilty for feeling the way you do. The issue may be deeper than you anticipated if she's more inclined to gaslighting you rather than trying to solve the issue and apologize. And we have an update a little over 2 months later.
only comment I fully agree with.
That was the same dude.
What? Dude, well, I agree with that comment. I don't agree with your other comments.
I think that was the same deleted account responding to OP's response.
Got you. Okay, well, that comment, you were right. The other comments were only half right.
The other comments were just him really hung up that he thought that men wearing lingerie was emasculating.
That's such a shock. Are you wearing lingerie? Oh my god. I would never do that. I can't believe you did that for your girlfriend and then she betrayed you. Which she did betray him. It's not a sacrifice for him to do it.
Yeah.
He never said that. Stop putting words in his mouth.
Update, little over 2 months later. I decided to break up with my fiance and it started a crap storm.
It seems like probably she continued.
Yeah, so I think that commenter might have come after this update and we just got it beforehand.
Ooh. Okay.
I could be wrong. I told her I felt disrespected and it was effed up that she would try to pass off her spicy hobby as mine, especially when she knew that the only reason I participated was for her
Dang
sake.
it. Okay. Dang it.
She begged and pleaded for me to take her back, but I just couldn't view her in the same way, and I couldn't feel comfortable around her. After she realized I wouldn't take her back, she started calling me a little witch and a sissy, which struck me as off because I don't know many people who use the word sissy. and said she'd make sure everyone knows how much of a witch I was.
You suck, girl.
This-
you had a
what the
gold
heck?
mine of a partner.
You had a man that willingly dressed as Dr. Frankenfurter because he felt hot as that.
And then you freaking do this. You suck. You freaking suck. You had a man who
I'm
willingly...
way more on the other commenters thing now.
Me too.
Save for the fact that I still don't think that him doing this was emasculating.
Yeah, no, I don't think that. And I think that you I want you to get into the headset, the mindset of being
go back
I
to
am
your,
a strong,
go
man.
back to your Frankenfurter mindset.
Yes, go back to that mindset. However, I do fully agree now because you've said I only did it for her.
And then she lied, saying
Yeah,
that it was
she
all
sucks
your
all the
thing.
way. She's
Yeah.
an a-hole.
Yeah,
Get rid of her.
Girl, own up to your own spicy wants.
Yeah, come on.
This whole confrontation happened in our apartment, and it was after she said all that I decided to leave. She told everyone she could think of that I had a lingerie spicy hobby and I loved wearing women's underwear. Okay, so she was just
What?
I read ahead, and we can't say that word, but she also started using some phobic language, specifically calling me a slur for a trans person. Lucky for me, I never allowed her to take pictures of me while I was in lingerie.
Well, you could have sued her if she shared it.
Oh, yeah, easy. So when some family members and friends asked, I just told them she was crazy and trying to get back at me for breaking up with her. Maybe it would have been better to explain the situation, but I'm still embarrassed. I didn't think anyone really needed to know any specifics about the situation.
I just want OP. She sucks.
She
She's a terrible
sucks.
person.
We didn't have all this info earlier.
Yeah.
She sucks.
She sucks. She's a terrible person. And I just want, you are no less of a man for wearing, clothes don't have gender.
You were low-key more of a man for
I
being so
think
open
so.
and doing that, in my
I think
personal
so.
opinion.
You were a better partner for doing something for your partner
For
because
her.
this is what she wanted. And you probably looked freaking hot doing it.
Yeah.
Screw her.
Her family was sure to let me know that I was a POS and weird and slur for trans. I blocked her and them though, so that didn't last for long. Our lease was almost up, and I have a friend who owns his home, so it was relatively easy to move out. I burned all the lingerie I bought. So now there is no real evidence of that particular activity, which is a weight off my shoulders. I mean, I will say, I don't think you needed to burn it, but I could understand you don't need it anymore because it wasn't really your thing.
I do kind of just hate the implication that OP feels shame for this to the point where you have to burn it. There is nothing shameful about this.
She's just a terrible person.
She just is a terrible, awful person.
I really wish I could forget the whole relationship, to be honest. I'm looking into buying my own house since I have a decent amount of savings and my friend is only charging me utilities so I can save up even more. And by the way, there's even more episodes with stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, search up OK Storytime. There's just a little bit left. Any other thoughts?
Just that this woman is such a piece of trash
so much.
to the point where she found this perfect man. This truly perfect man who was willing to listen to her needs and desires, and then she went and freaking destroyed
Making
that
up
relationship.
rumors. So weird of her too to be spreading these oh my god, can you believe he does this? Girl, all you had to do was just not say anything about it and no one would have known. Thank God you did low key so that he could get out of here because you suck.
Oh yeah.
A bright note in all of this is that she lost her friends.
Nice.
It turns out that her friends didn't like how she was talking about me, so they recruited my other friend to ask me about the text I mentioned in the previous post.
I take it back. That guy who texted you, props.
10 out of 10.
Props to him.
After we broke up, I got several messages from them saying they thought how she treated me was effed up and that they'd all stop talking to her.
Nice.
I think it's cool that they stood up for me despite not knowing me all that well. These past couple months have been really hard on me, and though I got out in a relatively easy way, I still can't seem to move past it. I've been drinking more than I should and turning to psychedelics to try and process the whole situation. I know these actions are self-destructive, but it's so hard to face the world. I feel embarrassed, emasculated, and unattractive.
No,
And
never
you are
feel
none of those
unattractive.
things.
Never feel unattractive. You know who you are.
Go go back and listen to how hot Sophia thinks Frankenfurter is.
Please rewind the tape.
I can't see how I'm supposed to open up to a partner in the future when my trust has been broken in such a uniquely painful way. OP,
This is so sad.
there are good people out
Don't
there.
let anyone dim your sparkle.
Don't let them do it.
Please.
I really wish I could turn my emotions off and just live in a state of apathy. I know I should probably try therapy, yes, but this intense shame makes it really hard to talk about. Anyway, I'm just updating Reddit in an effort to get all these feelings out somewhere. I hope this update offered some closure for anyone interested in my story, and that is the end of that story.
This is
Oh,
sad. This
P.
is devastating. This is that was a devastating story.
That was devastating.
Dang.
OP, I'm sure you're hot as F and go out into the world and continue to be that same confident person if you can.
Please.
Because there's people that are gonna think you're the coolest person ever, and those are the correct people.
There are other women out there who think you're hottie. So go find those ladies.
There are other people out there that know
You're
how
hottie.
hot Dr.
Yeah.
Frankenfurter is.
Yeah.
But that is the end of that story.
My fiance's mother stole my cat. Give it back. My fiance, 28 male, and I, 28 female, have been together for 5 years and engaged for 1. Anyway, 2 months ago, my grandmother gave me a 2-month-old kitten that was bred from her cat. It was her cat's only litter, and she has 3 kittens.
Aww.
By the way, this comes from My Kitty Is Gone. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. And we're here to give good advice goofily. We don't have any answers. We're going to guess them. But if you have any answers, let us know. We'd like to read them. The cat itself is special because she comes from a long line of cats that have been in our family for a very long time, taking about the late 1800s here.
Dang. Jeez. How are you getting those cats to... Jeez, man.
I know they got a family tree of these cats, and all of the older cats have like
Old
top
pictures
hats.
of them.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's sick.
Yes, the cat is purebred, but we do not breed and sell them. All the cats stay in our family. It's been a tradition, and my whole family loves it. Having a pet lineage that goes back to our own is extremely special.
Wait, are you telling me that all these cats are incest cats?
No, I think it's like it's
Trigger
a.
warning, incest.
Recording incest and cats?
I think they like call up if it's important to them. They probably call up people that also have purebreds around the world.
Yeah. And they're like, hey, we got some cats here.
Yeah.
Got to keep this line going from the 1800s, you know? Because a cat lives like what, like 20-ish
Oh, how many?
year,
Yeah, how many
maybe?
generations is that?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like this
Vincent.
2025.
What's the lifespan of a cat?
I believe cats, if you take care of them, they can live up to 20 years.
Yeah.
In like your house. Indoor cats can go 20 or north of that. So that's at least
16 generations.
yeah.
Because 100 years is 5 cats.
It's 2020, so like 11.
Yeah.
In 100 years,
Yeah.
how many 20s are in 100?
5.
Oh, wait, I did my math wrong.
Yeah. I'm like, what are you talking about? Where are you getting this?
Nothing. Sophia, you were correct.
You were laughing at me.
A month ago, my grandmother passed away, and it has completely devastated me. Having a kitten from her own cat has made me feel closer to her, and I've bonded with her this last month. My mom received my grandmother's cat since she didn't have one of her own. And in total, with that one, there are only 4 cats remaining.
Uh-oh.
Now for the problem, which still has me in tears. My fiance has never approved of the whole cat thing and says we support breeders and unaliving of shelter animals because the cats are full bred.
But that's silly because you're breeding only that like within the family.
Yeah,
You're not buying from a breeder.
yeah, it
Doesn't make any sense.
they're not profiting off of these animals.
Yeah.
Like I said before, we do not sell the cats and they stay within the family, so I have no idea where he gets this idea from. I also live in a rural part of the country and own my own house on a big piece of land and have dedicated my life to helping animals. I help out the Humane Society and take in farm animals and foster them until they find new homes. I currently have 1 horse, 3 goats, 4 rabbits, and many chickens.
That's cute. That's nice life.
You would want this life, but you wouldn't want to like
I
clean
wouldn't
up
want
the
to.
poop.
No.
In addition, I also have 2 rescue dogs and 2 rescue cats that I love. Where is he getting this from?
Dang.
She's
you got a
literally-
lot.
To be fair, okay, not everyone can have this many goats and horses. She's doing more than the average person.
And has 2 rescue cats and dogs, and he has the audacity to be like, "You're supporting this." Blah, blah, blah.
You're killing shelter animals.
She's literally saving them.
Yeah, come on, dude.
Just for that comment alone, dump him.
Yeah, he's done. You're not my fiance anymore. You're my fiancée.
So it was kind of insulting and hurtful to be told that I support kitty mills and breeders. It wasn't until my grandmother passed away that he began to express these feelings, and I was thinking that he would just get over it. Instead, it's turned into a disaster. I came home from work 2 days ago to find my kitten missing. I searched everywhere and couldn't find her. She's only 4 months old, so she likes to hide, but never for a long time. It was my fiance's day off, so I asked him if he had seen her, and he said that he saw her playing by the doggy door and that she must have gotten out.
You freaking liar. You're a little liar, dude.
This is where I lost it. I just broke down and started crying, and I've been a mess since then. These cats cannot survive outside. They don't know how to climb trees. Their long hair will unalive them in the heat, and there are tons of coyotes outside. My fiance hugged me and told me that it would all be okay and that we could just look around. So we went outside until it got dark with our flashlights and searched for hours, and nothing. He said he was tired, so we went back home, and since he gets annoyed when I bring her up in tears.
I don't trust him. He's a liar. He's a freaking liar, man.
You gotta stop
He stole that
looking
kitten.
because he got tired.
Mm-hmm.
Nah.
Mm-mm. I don't buy it. I don't buy it.
All right, I'm devastated, as you should be,
Yeah.
and hurt. He doesn't even care about what's happening. He wouldn't even help put up posters for her because he says no one lives near us anyway. This whole change in attitude has sideswiped me and made me look at him in a different light. I know he didn't like her, but to be so cold and uncaring is cruel. I even asked him how we would feel if it was one of our other cats, and he said it's different because they've been with us for years.
So just because it's a baby cat, he's like, I don't care about babies.
It's 'cause
What happens when you guys have a baby? He's like, I don't care about that baby.
Because it's a baby cat and like not, and it's purebred too.
Yeah, which is crazy because it's like the audacity to be like, oh, the fact that you have this purebred cat is awful and you're supporting like the people putting down pets and stuff. And then he seemingly does something to get rid of a like living animal.
Dude,
Pretty hypocritical.
she was the most important connection to my grandmother I had, and now she's gone. I feel like all the healing that I had from her passing away is undone, and I can't even go to work now. Any advice, please? We are a quarter of the way through here.
Dang, man. Dang. My advice is I don't trust your fiance.
My advice,
I think he had something to do with it.
my advice is always put a tracker in your dog.
That's true. Well, this is a cat, but yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if he can put a tracker in a cat that small, though.
You can chip your cat.
You can chip them.
When, though? Because I think this was like a baby.
I have 2 cats. We chipped Pablo when he was a kitten.
Okay,
Of
so
course, you have
maybe
a cat
can.
named Pablo.
Pablo and Cece.
Yeah, so maybe you could have chipped this cat.
Dude, have you seen the size of chips?
But have you seen the size of kittens?
Edit. I just spoke with some friends at the Humane Society, and they know someone who has a tracking dog, and they're willing to come out and help look for her as a thank you for everything I've done for them.
Dude, I'm freaking scared that this dog is going to eat that cat.
No, they're usually trained pretty well.
Okay.
It's not like a hunting dog.
Yeah,
it's a
just
tracking dog.
He's just like, there.
Yeah.
And he's just going to be smelling your fiance. And
All
you're like,
over
what?
him,
That's
yeah.
not like you're trained wrong. But no, he's trained right.
If it said hunting dog, I'd be like,
Yeah.
no
Oh,
thanks.
no, thank you. That's all right.
I'm also going to Skype my fiance now. Edit 2. I just finished Skyping with my fiance. He knew something was wrong off the bat. He got really quiet and he said he would try to come home tomorrow to help look for her. He's also apologized for the way he's been acting, because the way he grew up wasn't as family focused as I was. And crying was seen as a weakness, and he was often grounded for it. So it's something he has no idea what to do about. I asked him again what happened that day, and he said his mom visited him in the morning and actually lectured him about how he wasn't doing enough, and continued to insult him about how he wasn't the one that wore the pants in the relationship because everything we had came from me. He says he asked her to leave and went to the room to take a shower, and afterwards doesn't remember if the cat was there.
Okay, so maybe
Prime suspect.
he wasn't part of it, but
We have a new prime
I
suspect,
think
everyone.
we know who might have been.
His mom isn't an active member in our lives. She hates the wealthy and has constantly called me spoiled. And now I'm thinking she may be part of the kitty's disappearance. I asked my fiance if he would ask her about it, and he said he would do whatever I wanted to do to find the kitten. Update next day. We already know.
Okay.
Yeah, we know where it's at.
Well, now we know. Let's just go pop on over there and bring that tracking dog. It'll sniff her out real good.
Yeah, honestly, best course of action.
Mhm.
My fiance is back home, and we had our friends from the Humane Society join us with their dog. The dog was super sweet and smelled everything outside and found no scent. We're not sure if it's just the dog or it's just because the cat was never outside, but everyone agrees it's more towards the latter. A few of them have helped me put up posters, and the vets and people who work at the shelters know of the situation. I spoke one-on-one to my fiance, and he went more into detail how he was raised. This included opening up about his childhood. Why are we getting a backstory in his childhood?
Yeah, he's like, well, you have to understand why I stole the cat. When I was a young lad, my mother was a cat.
You know who does this too?
What?
Evil villains.
Yeah.
Is he explaining his plan?
Monologuing.
He said everything he and his siblings did was always watched, and one thing his mom hated the most was crying. He would be punished when he would cry because
Dang.
his mom said if he needed to cry, she would give him a reason to.
Jeez.
In my fiance's eyes, being stoic about some situations is what he was taught to do, and he doesn't know other ways of reacting to it. He does talk to his mom once a week, and he says he talked to her the week after my grandmother passed. She told him if he didn't stop acting like a woman and catering to my needs,
God.
that I would leave him.
Yeah, his mother sounds terrible.
Oh my
Sounds
gosh.
pretty awful.
So this kitten has brought up so many things.
Yeah, he's like, you don't understand. It wasn't just the kitten. It was everything. My whole life.
She also gave him a lot of scolding about the kitten, since she's the one that's put the whole purebred animals are evil mindset in their family. He said he did think of the cat as part of our family already, so he began to feel overwhelmingly guilt for owning her. That's the main reason why he started pulling back and going into the mindset he grew up with again. I asked him if he would like to come to therapy with me on Friday and talk more about it, and he agreed. He also apologized for the way he's been acting and said he understood how it looked terrible on his part. Finally, he called his mom, but every call he made went straight to voicemail and no text message was answered.
Pretty suspicious.
He's also been blocked on social media by her, and I really do believe she had a big part in the kitty's disappearance. My fiance is not a very good liar and has been honest about everything so far. He said he doesn't know exactly what happened that day since he shut down with his mom's yelling, and that it wasn't until I got home that he really got out of the daze he was in. I think the mom sold the cat.
I think so too.
Purebred since
Yeah.
the 1800s.
I think she's like, I think she is the type of person to be, I don't know, very hypocritical. Like she complains about it, but then sells the cat. You know, I think there's, I think this is a bad mama.
At this point, he was sad. I've never seen him full on cry, but it looked like he was close to it. He blames himself for not being more careful and promised to do anything I wanted to repair the damage. He also said he wants to cut contact with her, but doesn't know how to because she's constantly forcing herself into his life.
Cut contact. Cut her out. She literally, maybe, potentially, stole your fiance's cat.
Probably.
You need to set those, probably. You need to set those boundaries before you marry this guy, because if he can't set boundaries with his mom, then you're never going to have a good relationship with him.
It's just going to be 3 people in a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
He went to fiance's mom's city and arrived at her house around 6 a.m., but she wasn't there. My mom knocked on the neighbor's door and said she was gone for the week visiting her son. Fiance's brother lives all the way in Amarillo, which is almost 8 hours away, which is in Texas, and that's the spot I stopped at while coming to LA.
No way.
Yeah.
I've never been to Texas.
It's like at the north part of Texas. Yeah, great place.
Yeah.
I loved it. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
We went to vets around the area to drop off pictures. We also filed a police report in her city.
Nice.
Update 10 days later.
Yeah. Woo, woo, woo. I think
Okay.
she stole the cat,
All right.
sold it because it's purebred, probably
Oh.
made a couple thousand.
And went to Amarillo to sell it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
And then she's gone on her way to Japan. She's using her couple thousand and she's flying to Japan.
Vincent, what do you think?
She has a weird hang up with, like, it seems almost classist.
Yeah.
She didn't like how it's purebred, and you guys mentioned that, like, she had issues with, like, money and
Yeah, like OP earning more.
Yeah, OP earning more. I think the mom is the main thing, and the fiance is dealing with
The
some
byproduct of
the
that.
byproduct of that. But it's good on the fiance for recognizing that and thinking, hey, I need to grow past this and cut contact because
That's
that
the first
sounds
step.
like a horrible trauma that they're working through.
Yeah, this woman sounds intense.
She does.
Update 2.
Give it.
Not a lot has happened since I last updated.
What do you mean?
Why are we updating? Well, sorry. We'll read. I still don't have my kitten back, but we made posts about it and reported her missing with her microchip.
Oh, so she did have a microchip?
Yeah, how a microchip works, it's kind of like if they find the cat, they can scan it.
Oh.
It's not like a tracker.
What? What's the point?
Yeah, that's what I'm about to say.
It's like they find the cat and they put it on that little like self-checkout. Beep. They know what it is.
This is a lettuce.
They know whose it is.
I've now been to therapy twice with my fiance. Overall, he seems to be reacting well to it. It says he feels like a huge weight has been lifted off his shoulders. His past is a lot darker than I would have thought and explains why he acts the way he does at times. I've noticed he's become more open now and he talks about things that he would have otherwise ignored and tells me how he's been feeling instead of staying quiet about it. He looks like a happier person and he will continue to go to therapy separately.
Nice. Look at this. He's figuring stuff out.
His kitten seems to.
Yeah. Your kitten actually helped in the long run.
As for his mom, we went to her home again after she got back and were met with yelling and threats. She accused us of stalking her and sending people to spy on her. She went on a rant about how she's happy my kitten is gone because then I would feel how she did when I robbed her of her son.
Yikes. Yikes. She's like, you
Oh
stole
my-
my little boy, so I stole your pet. That's not equivalent.
Why do we have this mindset?
Yikes, man.
Ew, ew,
You
ew,
just
ew.
suck. That's why your son doesn't want to talk to you.
She said he turned to a kitty since he started dating me, and she's wished he could have found someone who was actually a woman of the house. Apparently, she hates that I'm the breadwinner and makes him look like he's just a sugar baby. I did see firsthand how he gets with her yelling, though. He tenses up and just blanks out like if he would mentally shuts down. My mom called her the C word and told her she was a horrible mother, and then fiance's mom tried to attack her. My mom grabbed her arm,
Dang.
twisted it,
Dang.
and fiance's mom screamed.
Dang. Mom v. mom.
I did not expect this to happen.
Judo flipping.
The neighbor came out running of their house and asked if everything was okay. And fiance's mom started yelling how we were attacking her in her own home and she wants a restraining order. We left after that and went back home. My fiance's phone has been blowing up with texts and calls from his brother asking why we attacked his mom and how he betrayed them. His mom did file a police report against my mom, and I don't think we'll be able to get near her to see if she took my cat.
No.
Oh, dude.
This is so frustrating. I just want you to get your cat back from this crazy lady.
She has it.
She absolutely has it. There's no way that she would be this, like, defensive if she didn't have the cat.
Sadly, it feels like you have to record every altercation you have with this woman now.
I think so. I mean, you're not seeing her that much. It's not that much to record.
That's true. Because if you recorded this, you could like show like, oh, this was self-defense.
Yeah, you can see here the moment that my mother twisted her arm, she was trying to kick our cat.
Update 3. 4 days later, I just got a call from a vet in a small town between where I live and fiance's mom's house. They have my kitty?
They had your kitty!
What?
You found it at the vet?
Yeah. Someone brought her in and wanted her microchipped, but she already had one.
Someone's
She
trying
sold
to steal
it.
your cat. Yeah. Yeah, she sold it.
Dang, and they did that. They did that like, beep, beep. It worked. It wasn't useless after all, Vincent.
Thanks.
The whole reporting her missing with it worked. Thank you for everyone who suggested that. I'm crying now.
I'm crying. You got your cat back.
Not yet. I wanted to press charges. I know for sure my fiance's mom sold or gave her to that person. The person who has her is insisting that it's her cat and is still there.
Liar.
How much money did she pay for this cat?
That's crazy. Yeah, for her to be like, it's my cat. What are you talking about? And they're like, ma'am, this cat has a tracker on it. It's someone else's cat. And she's like, no.
It's mine. I bought it. Which, I mean,
Yeah.
they probably
I
would
mean,
buy
yeah,
it.
you better get that money back, girl.
Update. We just left the vets. I have her back. Let's freaking go.
Yay.
We got Kitty back. Kitty rescue mission
back.
is complete.
We got a whole house full of animals now.
She's been purring like crazy and is her happy little self. I'm bawling. I missed her so much. When we got there, the lady was indeed fiance's mom's friend. Oh, she was fighting tooth and nail to keep her. We told her we filed a police report as well as had her missing with her microchip. This lady did not want to hear it. I told her I could call the police and let them decide.
Good answer.
Because I had her paperwork, her CFA registration, her health records, and much, much more.
That's how you do it. You just say, okay, you can keep complaining about how much you want my cat, but you're gonna also get the police.
Look at the papers.
She brought receipts.
She backed off after that. My fiance was the calm one and explained to her that we were going to press charges against his mom for robbery and that she could either be considered an accomplice to that or she could testify against her. I don't think she thought we were serious until my fiance said that. She said my fiance was a horrible son for thinking of turning on his own mom like that. I countered that my fiance's mom was the one who stole my kitty. She went into my home, took something that wasn't hers. Person's your fiance's mom's friend. What? I mean, she's not going to do the right thing.
Yeah.
She's friends with...
Yeah, if she's friends with that mom, it's pretty telling about what type of person she is.
During all of this, one of the vet assistants called the police, and 2 of them arrived shortly after.
Your mom gonna get arrested?
The friend. I think the friend. They're talking to the friend right now.
But I thought the mom was okay.
We got her to make a statement against fiance's mom.
Nice.
And they also got ours. They said it was a good thing that we already had a paper trail. It de-escalated after that, and we were able to talk through everything. I guess this woman was just lonely and had been talking to fiance's mom about it. And shortly after, fiance's mom took my kitten and went and sold it to her the same day. She said that she only bought her for $50
for a purebred cat? She lowballed that price there. Dang.
She could have got like
Could have got way more money.
5 big ones.
Yeah.
And that the kitty was so sweet that even when she knew we were looking for her, fiance's mom told her that she didn't want to give her up. I mean, yeah, it's the best cat ever.
She's like, this is such a cute cat. I just paid $50 for it.
Also,
it's mine forever.
She sold it for $50. That's like gas.
That's what I'm saying. Purebred animals are so expensive, or at least they can be.
I was looking for a certain dog.
Yeah.
$7,000.
Yeah. No, it's crazy.
She ended up taking her to the vet because the kitty kept scratching her ears and had a lot of fluid in them, and she was worried about her. Vet said kitty is fine, but that she has a yeast infection in her ears. That's what's causing her eyes to water more than usual. And that is causing discomfort in her ears. He gave us some drops and said to use them twice a day, and she should be good in a couple of weeks. And in a couple of weeks, you could listen to a little bit of all the stories we have to offer to you. Just go to your favorite podcast platform, Apple, Spotify, or iHeartRadio, and press play on OK Storytime.
Please do.
A little bit left
We're waiting.
here.
We're waiting.
What do we think of this story so far?
Boy, oh boy.
It's a lot. I did not expect
Twists and turns.
just an onion.
I think that we now that we know that the mom sold this cat,
Yeah.
just went through all of this trouble to steal OP's pet.
Emotional damage.
Yeah, you could totally sue for him. I mean, like you can probably they're filing a police report, so
Yeah.
But I think definitely having a conversation with your fiance about relationship with what his relationship will be like with his mom going forward.
Yeah.
About no contact because she freaking stole your pet.
Yeah.
And just kind of getting on the same page before you think about getting married.
Gotta line some stuff up here.
Mm-hmm.
After that, I spoke one-on-one with a lady and told her I could sponsor an adoption for a kitty if she wanted me to. And she said that she would love that.
Oh, wait, this lady just wanted a cat.
She's just
She just wanted a
lonely.
cat. She was like, wait, I liked that cat. It was really cute.
She's older and really wanted a companion. We're going to meet up next week to do that.
Oh, wait, now I feel bad for that lady.
She just got in a bad squid.
Yeah, she just
that's
got
it.
swindled.
Yeah.
She paid $50 for a cat she doesn't even get.
As for her fiance's mom, police seemed hesitant on arresting her for just a cat, so they didn't want to do anything. They said it was up to the San Antonio Police Department to do it. So that's our next step, I guess.
Yeah, we're taking this all the way to the Supreme Court.
You're arresting her?
I would file charges. She broke into the house and like stole something.
Well, she didn't, I think she was invited in.
Or,
But
okay,
she
well,
just
she
stole something.
stole something
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
and then sold it. I mean, the friend could absolutely file charges for being sold something that wasn't, hers to sell.
Whitney asks, wonder how much the cat is worth because over a certain amount, the theft could be a much worse charge.
That's
yeah?
true.
Could be like a felony.
You have a lot of options here.
We're almost home now, and I want to upload a pic of her so y'all can see how adorable she is. I'm worn out and feel like I can take a nap for days. Update 4. We got another update.
I have no further thoughts.
Update 4. I finally got my kitty back after 2 weeks.
Yay!
She's home and acting like nothing in the world is wrong.
She's just a little kitty.
I did not expect the boyfriend to go or the fiance to go through like So much of emotional breakthrough.
Truly, like we find out that this like cat's been stolen by his mom, and he's like, I had a whole realization that my mom is like not great, and I had this childhood trauma, and she's like, oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Lovely.
I'm still looking for my cat. I gotta find my cat. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah. But guys, we got another story coming up for you.
My partner cheated on me, then took my daughter away.
Cheat on your next partner, then take your daughter back? I don't know if that's the right math.
My 30 male partner, 32 female, and I have been together for nearly 3 years. We took her 11-year-old daughter in over the summer with the intent to gain full custody. We were in the early stages of finding a lawyer when she asked me if I was sure I wanted to proceed despite our issues. By the way, this comes from Descartographer. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the /OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Sophia.
I'm Dakota.
And I'm Vincent.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we'd do. So let us know what you would do in the comments. And OP says, immediately sensing that she was projecting, I reaffirmed that this was my family. And though I couldn't have legal rights as we weren't married, that I was confident that she would be as my own daughter and that I loved both of them as my family. She stated she wasn't sure due to us having issues of our own, and I countered that if she wanted to make sure we were all on the same page, that I'd have no issues with couples and family counseling. Her response was, well, I don't lie to therapists, so I may as well tell you now, and proceeds to dissolve my vision of a family and my view of her in 10 short minutes. She tells me that she cheated on me twice, directly prior to us splitting for a 2-week period a year and a half prior. I had thought we came back together with the intent of making something to last, and was blindsided. In my stupor, I told her that I consider the first attempt a different relationship, and that we were both vastly different in our respect to this relationship, and that I would still be willing to attend counseling, albeit with a more defined goal of ensuring I could deal with this bombshell. She said there was more. She said, wait. Don't worry, I've got more.
She went, damn, this isn't enough to make you break up with me? All right, fine. It was your dad.
She reached out to her ex that had fostered an emotionally awful relationship for the last 8 months of their relationship to apologize and get closure. That evolved into her realizing unresolved feelings and essentially commencing an emotional affair for the last 4 months. I tried so hard to figure out how she could do this and how she could lie and let me believe everything as well as work for a goal no longer shared. She skirted all accountability and even went as far as saying, I told you I'm a bad person. I've spent the last 2 weeks preparing for the split as my entire life has become built around fostering a family I no longer have, including a career change that now requires a compromise, in order for me to keep my dog. She's getting a U-Haul tomorrow, and her daughter's bio dad will be picking her daughter up Saturday.
To be clear in the comments, that is not OP's biological
Yeah.
child. It was her kid, and they were planning on doing formal adoption procedures.
Yes, but they had not done that yet. She'll be packed and gone to try again with the ex by Monday. I'm still reeling, but after 2 weeks of discussion, I truly see just how vile of a person I loved, and how the way she's so comfortable being this disgusting, twisted version of herself has made me doubtless in the decision to separate. The problem is, I'm mourning the life and family I thought I had and the daughter I've lost. There's more to the story, including her daughter knowing the truth the entire time about the affair. Ooh,
She's 11,
ooh,
so
yeah.
that's not really
So I'm just
neither
thinking
here
that's
or
tough
there.
on her, though. I'm just numb, and at the end of the day, just want to make sure my dog and I stay together and are taken care of. All of this happened just in time for my birthday. So this is real adulthood. No. That's not like a common adulthood experience. It's not like getting your license.
It's not really like adulthood. It's a doof.
A
Because
doofhood.
it's just like, oof, that sucks.
A douchhood.
A dowie hood.
A dowie hood.
A doopsie hood. I accidentally dated a woman who cheated on me twice. And you dated her twice.
But there is an update. Truly, I mean, there isn't, anything you can do in terms of this relationship or even in terms of like your relationship with your, ex's daughter. But therapy. That's all I can recommend. Just massive amounts of therapy.
Yeah.
Update. Today was the day that her daughter's biological father came to get her, and the day that my partner packed and left to drive across the country to be with her ex. We were all very emotional, and the daughter left me a note with instructions not to read until after she left with her dad. I just sat down and read it, and it's letting me know she left me her favorite crystal, but I have to follow a riddle to find it. We loved riddles and regularly went to the crystal shop together. A second note was her begging me to not forget her because of how much that would hurt and that she would never forget me. I was doing better after they both left, and I'm still feeling like I can't understand everything that went into the decisions my former partner made. She and I had a very emotionally charged moment while packing things out of our storage unit, where she needed help climbing over things and jumped into my arms and wrapped her legs around me in a full body hug. We held it for longer than we should have, and afterwards needed a moment. I asked her if she had anything left to say, and she was confident her decisions were worth it. Oh. She said, "No, I want to stay here, but a part of me still wants to go and feels like I have to go, and I'm too far down this road now." I told her I'd give her this one last chance to put a stop to things. Her daughter could spend the weekend at her dad's, and we could do some real discussions about what exactly created the situation and whether or not we'd ever be able to move past it or not, because we hadn't had that real hard discussion.
My prediction is she literally disappears. She's going to be like, yeah, and then she's going to vanish in the middle of the night.
I don't think she can handle consequences or tough conversations. After some time, I could tell she wouldn't be able to do that. The risks were too high for her to end up alone, and she'd pick the safer option. By the way, the safest option for you guys is to listen to full episodes of stories just like this on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio. Just search up OK Storytime. But there is a little bit left to this story. Any final thoughts?
Do not get back together with this lady. And keep that crystal.
Yeah. Ugh, that's so sad. I mean, maybe when she's 18, she'll want to reach out again, but for the moment, unfortunately, there's not much you can do. I don't know, like maybe you could ask your ex if you could have some sort of like contact with your, her daughter, because it seems like you have a really good relationship with her.
Yeah.
Ouchie. Ouchie, ouchie.
That's tough because, the daughter kind of seems like the innocent bystander in all this.
Yeah. And, I mean, she's going to feel, if she doesn't already, she's going to feel a lot of guilt for, even though it isn't her fault, for keeping that secret.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. But there is a little bit left. I know it needed to happen, and I know that what she did was irreparable to our relationship. But at the end of it all, I just want my effing partner back. I want my daughter back, and I want to have felt like I was given a real chance to live the life we had planned together before her selfishness and mental hurdles ruined the best thing the three of us had going for us. I know I'll be okay with time, therapy, and self-work. I know that I can't stay in their lives. I can't stick around for anyone's sake, because that would just hold the moment the hurt left in our hearts longer than necessary and would postpone the healing we need to all begin. I know I'll be okay, but that doesn't make me not miss the life I thought we had laid before us. And that's the end of the story. My fiance called off our wedding after 9 years. Then a stranger told me why.
Why didn't you just get married in those 9 years? What's going on there?
So my SO, 28 male, and I, 26 female, have been together for almost 9 years now. When we first started dating, we had a rough patch due to both of us not being ready for a relationship. We broke up for a year and ended up accidentally rekindling. By the way, this comes from Simply Steffi. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Sophia.
I'm Savannah.
I'm Keon.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we'd do. So let us know what you would do in the comments. And OP says, so around 2012, we got back together and have been great since. During the next 2-ish years, I, 26 female, was finishing off college and starting a career while I figured out my next move, furthering my current career or going back for postgrad. We were happy where we were and mutually didn't feel a rush towards marriage until we were more set in life. But neither of us have had doubts this was a long haul thing for us. Fast forward to September 2016, we got engaged. He's 28 male, joining the Navy, and didn't want to leave me high and dry. I wanted to follow him because I still wasn't sure on postgrad, and my current job will get me hired anywhere. We realized we were holding off on marriage for a perfect time, that would never come. We loved each other and wanted to make that commitment. Originally, we planned an elopement of sorts. Just immediate close family coming with us on a cruise and a casual party for the rest of our friends and family after we got back. It was honestly perfect for us, and everyone knew that and agreed. Somehow it turned into a 100+ attendee formal wedding neither of us truly wanted. Didn't hate it, but thought the other did want it. It was in April and left very little time for us to plan a formal wedding. This is something that I almost called off the wedding for in order to elope because it was just too much and wasn't what we envisioned. Neither of us liked parties or big to-dos. It was a lot of money and stress and probably would have been different if that wedding was our plan A, not an accident. To top it off, I've been having issues at work. Non-job threatening, just a lot of stress. And he totaled my car after being T-boned. Not his fault. Oh my God. So finances, lack of a car, and stress took its toll. Things haven't been great for us the last few weeks and just kept spiraling downwards. It came to a head and he voiced concerns about marriage stemming from how we've been the last few weeks. I told him I wasn't sure if we could survive canceling the wedding. They were issues that without the stress of everything else, we could have worked on easily, but with everything going on, it seemed insurmountable. A day or two later, after giving him time to think, he said it's better if it's all called off. It was implied it meant us too because we didn't think a relationship could bounce back from a canceled wedding in that way. Anyways, now we're considering trying to make it work, but he's afraid I'll resent him for the canceled wedding and that it will cause further problems. I know it's a valid concern because I was sobbing when he canceled it. 0% because of the party, but because of being in the general situation. Now, though, I truly feel that I'm relieved it's canceled. Though I'm only stressed at how to confront family, since save the dates were sent and our wedding shower was canceled the day before the party. The wedding was nothing that we wanted, and I feel that it made issues 20 times worse due to the stress from planning a wedding, spending money on a wedding that neither of us were truly excited about, the totaled car, and finances for that, plus stress from work, plus stress of him leaving in a few months. Most people know that it was canceled due to issues in our relationship. My parents are very supportive in us making it work, surprisingly, without a wedding. My sister is super judgmental and somewhat hypocritical about the way I handle issues in my life, so she's all about F him, move on. His family loves me and would support whatever our decision is. I know it comes down to us, but family is important to both of us. And we've got an update 6 days later. Oh no. But what do you think if you didn't see what the update was?
I didn't see what the
Okay,
update
good.
was.
What do you think should happen?
I mean, obviously, I don't think that you guys should get married. It just seems
Yeah.
like there's too many issues right now.
I
And
think-
that
Totally agree.
happens.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think it's just time to not necessarily end your relationship, but take a break because y'all
Yeah.
just seem so stressed with
Oh,
everything
yeah.
going on.
Seems like everyone's in separate lives right now just
Yeah.
because of like everything happening and how this guy's focusing on this and she's focusing on that, and then like also the whole thing with the car, and then like
But then they're trying to focus on each other.
yeah, and then also trying like it's
It's just
just
so complicated.
if you just separate for a little bit, figure things out, you can rekindle, you know, there's nothing bad about that. Sometimes it's time,
Yeah.
you know?
But I definitely think the break would help.
Yeah.
Well, we've got an update 6 days later. No, we couldn't because he cheated.
Ah,
Whoa! Oh, you know what? Scratch everything I said. I hate this man.
Yeah, he sucks. I found out this morning through anonymous Facebook message that he wasn't loyal and there was more to the breakup than I knew. I called him twice with no response, so I sent him a text about the message. Still no response. So I decided to check his phone records. Lo and behold, a mysterious number popped up like the day things started to go downhill for us. He'd call the number on nights I was working and text it throughout the day. Soon after I saw that, I checked to find my iPhone. He got his first iPhone and I helped him set it up like 2 weeks ago. His GPS showed at a random house near downtown that I know none of his friends lived at. Soon after that, he called me. He denied it all and was trying to be all supportive. The moment I said I had proof he was hiding things from his phone records, his entire demeanor changed. He specifically stated, I didn't sleep with anyone, which was odd since I never brought up cheating. She's like, you know, I have some proof that you were calling weird people. And he's like, I didn't sleep with anyone. She's like, I didn't say that. Well, I didn't,
Okay.
in case you were wondering.
You sound like the guy from last time saying he really liked periods and then he really didn't.
Yeah. As he was talking, I checked to find my iPhone again, and from the distance, it looked like he left wherever he was and called as soon as he was in the car. I asked where he was, and he said driving. I asked from where, and he got very defensive, saying it was my business since we weren't together.
Okay, so you're driving from the affair partner's house.
Yeah.
Easy.
Easy
Got it.
answer. I reiterated I knew he was hiding things from me. I still never brought up accusations of cheating yet. He called me creepy and stalkerish. Well, you're a cheater and a loser, so. I asked who the specific number belonged to, and he refused to answer, saying I was crazy. So I said I deserve to know, and he said a friend from work. For the next few minutes, he refused to assign it gender pronouns. A little bit later, I pushed, asking if it was a woman, and he admitted it was. So I asked who it was and said if it were the few women I know, then I get maybe he was venting to them. He refused to answer. So yeah, we can't work it out. Also, prior to this, he was already acting like a hot and cold knucklehead for the week after he left me on the day of my bridal shower.
Wow.
Either acting like he didn't care one bit about me or that he wanted me back because his life was falling apart. Oh boy. Needless to say, I became more relieved that the relationship was over and was more mourning the fact I was in the position I was in, canceling a wedding after a failed engagement. I realized he was very selfish, and I took on every responsibility in wedding planning and our relationship while he had nothing to do but work and come home to play video games. For the record, I like video games, but only when I have the time. Basically, this was the icing on the crap cake, and any bit I had left hanging on to the relationship went right out the window. I honestly feel relieved. I don't feel sad. I feel free. And happy. I'm not sad being in the apartment we shared anymore. My sister had helped me 2 nights ago set up a new bed, then helped change the entire look of the bedroom. By the way, you can help us by listening to full episodes with stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime. There is a little bit left to this story. Any final thoughts?
Well, this guy's a loser.
Yeah, he's a loser, baby.
Little big old little bitty itty bitty loser.
But there's a little bit left. Also, Monday, I'm going to a theme park with a coworker.
Okay, fun.
That seems like maybe you're rushing into things a little bit. Well, I'm not exactly trying to jump right into anything. He's a great guy, and we have the same interests. It's just nice to have attention from someone I get along with. Edit, yes, I'm getting tested ASAP. Yeah. Okay, be careful. Don't rush into anything. Take your time. But we got some comments. Deleted says, countdown to your ex turning up after it doesn't work out with his cheating partner and whining because you moved on so quickly. And 10. OP says, haha, I can definitely see that. Definitely not truly moving on. I'm just enjoying life for now. I know I'm not ready for a relationship or anything steady, but it's nice to have the distraction. Anodinik, you seem like you're taking this all in stride. Good for you. Just a message of caution about the coworker, though. Be careful not to get too close too fast. You should probably enjoy being single for a while before getting back into the dating game. OB says, oh, I definitely am. While I would be interested in the guy, I'm not ready for a relationship yet, and my expectations in one probably don't line up with starting a new one. I really don't want to make things awkward at work. It's just really nice to have a distraction for now. And that is the end of the story.
I ended things with my boyfriend. Then his own mother revealed his secret at dinner.
He's a werewolf.
Ooh. Little backstory. I, female 51, started dating Mickey, male 49, back in August. He was funny, cute, engaging with big dreams. There were some things that might have been deal breakers for some, but it was never a big deal for me. By the way, this comes from Sunshine and Brimstone. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Savannah.
I'm Sophia.
I'm Keon.
And we are here to give some good advice, goofily. We don't have all the answers. We only tell you what we would do in this situation. But let us know what you would do down in the comments. As Opie says, important to the story, he had moved back home from a few states away about 2 years ago when his dad became terminal. He was living with dad and mom, technically stepmom, due to the quick move and wanting to spend time with his dad. His dad has been gone for 19 months and he is still there. He has framed it as helping her. I now know that's not the case. I now know he has never lived on his own, always been with a woman or a parent. vital to the story. Remember that. We met in a Facebook dating group. Well, there's your first mistake. What does that even mean, a Facebook dating
Well,
group?
they have dating
They
groups.
found love in a
It's like a
Facebook dating group place.
yeah, it's like a Tinder type of thing,
You just go on Facebook, like a Facebook
like
group, and
like Facebook Marketplace, but for people.
Yeah, we're all single here. and
sell
we're gonna- yeah.
people.
No,
You
they're all
sell
free.
people. I left the group 3 weeks after we began seeing each other. I asked a few times why he was still in the group, and he played dumb. I have had friends sending me proof, although he wasn't active, he was still in it. Christmas Eve, sitting on my couch, a familiar face scrolled across his phone. I asked why he knew my friend, Carol. He played dumb and said, "Oh, it's that group. It's that group,
The
darling,
dating
please."
group? Then why are we dating? If you're still in the dating group.
No, different group.
Oh.
Well, that's what he would say, but it is the group.
Oh.
I got pissy and asked why he was still in it, and he blew me off. Yeah, I was done. During all of this, I got very close with his mom. She even told him in front of me he had better not screw it up. I was the best thing to ever find him. But she also told me about a lie, a very stupid lie back in November that happened in September. I filed it away. Okay, so the lie happened in September, but she was told in November.
Yes.
Okay, cool. That kind of got me a little Whoopi Goldberg. I filed it away. We had not seen each other for a few weeks due to weather and me getting hurt and unable to drive. His truck is in the shop, and he never asked Mom to bring him by, even though she offered. I saw him this weekend, and honestly, I was over it. He is still in the group and playing dumb. He has lied about another thing for months and has been telling his mom that I had changed and he thought I was cheating. Wow. Way to just...
I don't even think she believes. If she's coming to you telling you secrets, I don't think she believes him.
Yeah. I mean, I
Or-
hope
or
so.
I don't think she did believe him.
Funny thing is, she noticed he changed and thought he was cheating or trying to, so I bounced him. Okay.
What?
I'm guessing that means I bounced.
Sure. Okay.
Mom and I talk extensively because I didn't want her to deal with the fallout. She unloaded and wants to punt him out and a whole lot of other things. We are meeting up for dinner tomorrow so I can get the rest of my stuff back that he thinks he is keeping. She wants to remain friends, and I guess he told her to not speak to me. So, am I/are we the a-holes if we remain friends?
With his mom?
Yeah.
No. It is a little weird on her end,
Yeah.
but I don't know if she really likes her son that much. So
I don't know. I mean, I feel like it would be a little awkward because what are you going to talk about?
yeah,
Him? Because that's what you two
Yeah.
have in common. So I don't know. I don't
think it's like an a-hole.
think
move.
it's
just like a
an
little
a-hole
weird.
move. It's just more of like a, well, do you want to do that?
Yeah.
Does that interest you to be friends with your ex's mom?
Yeah.
I don't know. I
It's
wouldn't.
up to you, man.
I'd be like, if I dumped you, I'm dumping your entire family
Yeah,
as well.
that's how it
You get none
goes.
of that. That's just weird. I don't know. There is an update. After dinner with Mom, he is still married.
Stop.
What?
That's the
What?
secret?
Ah!
Oh, that's pretty bad.
Wait.
Yeah,
then
you should
why
bounce.
Why was Mom? Oh, don't lose her. And
She
this
must
one,
not have known that he was still married because he came to her and told her that he thought OP was cheating on him. And she was like, oh, well, I think he's being a little weird. I think he's cheating on her. So she must not have known that they were still married to whoever.
I have no idea. She found out a few days ago when his supposed to be ex-wife called her to get an address for him so she could file. Oh, so he must have told her, yeah, we got divorced, but they never actually like filed for anything,
yeah, they
or
didn't
like
do
maybe
it
just
all.
said, yeah, we separated or something. And now she's like, no, I'd like to make this official, so give me
Yeah.
your address. And
Yeah.
he's like, oh, so he,
Oh, man.
even the worm said, I'm out of here.
Worm said, oh, I'm going to bounce.
The worm bounced. He claims he filed and was divorced 3 years ago. Yeah, never happened. That's
Wow.
crazy.
Why?
Just do it.
Just do it, man. What are we putting off for? Ridiculous.
Maybe he doesn't want to pay all the money. Also found out he has not filed taxes in 4 years.
Dang! Oh my gosh. This is getting worse.
Due to owing child support and knowing his refunds would be taken. Okay, so this is
Oh,
money. I
dang.
knew it.
Yeah, that's not great.
Yikes.
That's pretty bad.
Oh, no. By the way, I think you owe us to listen to full episodes with stories just like this. Go to Spotify, Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio, or your favorite podcast app, and just search OK Storytime. That one was pretty good as well.
That was pretty good.
Not gonna lie, it was a little threatening, but I liked it.
I like the ones that are a little threatening.
I like a little threatening.
Toes. Keep them on their toes.
So, opinions? Thoughts?
Well, I feel like obviously, you already did it, but like break up, bounce, get out of there.
I don't think you need to keep contact with the mom.
I don't think so either.
There's no reason.
I don't think that you should. Just like for your own sake, I feel like having a connection with this guy in any form is not going to be great because it seems like there's a lot of drama going on in his life and his mom might continue to keep you informed about it and you don't want that.
I don't know. Just slowly
You don't
walk
want
away.
that. Yeah.
You don't need to deal with this.
I would not get involved in anything. I'd be like,
Yeah, sorry. I want to distance myself from you.
oh, you haven't paid 4 years.
Oh, I'm gonna walk back slowly and then very quickly.
He told his mom he had been having nightmares about a different ex, so that is who we suspect he has been talking to. Laying the groundwork for her reappearance. She asked what she would need to do to get him out, and I gave her the eviction info. We are meeting up again next week for disc golf and lunch.
If you break up with him, you break up with the stepmom. You gotta break up.
Yeah, you have to. You can't keep hanging out with her.
With this big of a mess,
You're gonna
It's not worth it.
somehow get swooped back into all of it, and I mean, hopefully not, but it seems like no one's really reliable in the story. So I don't know. She is an amazing woman, and neither of us deserved what this man has been doing. That's the end of that story.
Good luck.
My partner cheated during a typhoon and says he was going to tell me later.
How did you find out about that?
Last Sunday, while Super Typhoon Fuwang was passing near our region, I found out that my partner, 22 male, cheated on me, 26 non-binary. For context, we started as friends way back January 2024. Met for the first time February 2024, and he came to my place around March of 2024. We have officially been together since May of 2024. But we were long distance during all of this, and we just visit each other every few months. By the way, this comes from Rude Avocado 26, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Stories on subreddit. I'm Riley,
I'm Carly.
I'm Keon.
and we're here to give good advice goofily. We don't really know that much, but anything you know and you want to add to the comments, please do down below. Opie says, the internet connection was fluctuating at that time, and I was charging my phone, so I decided to borrow my partner's phone since he has offline games downloaded. He was sleeping, so I wasn't able to ask for permission, and besides, we all borrow each other's phones all the time, and I have my biometrics saved in his phone and his in mine. So I got bored with the offline games, and so I decided to browse his gallery. I'm really not the one type to go through another person's phone, especially my partner's, because I trust him. But something about this day felt different, and for the first time ever, I had this gut feeling to check the hidden stuff in his gallery. I checked the videos first, where it was just intimate clips of us. But when I checked the photos, I saw semi-spicy pics of someone else. I felt sick to my stomach. After seeing that, I investigated further. I unhid the photos to see the timestamp, and it was saved this year, last August 2024. I also saw a screenshot of his conversation with his brother, and there was a minimalized call with the girl in the hidden gallery. The timestamp of the screenshot was also around August, but I could not find the exact conversation with his brother. I also tried to search for people in his messages who looked like the girl, but I could not find it. But as I scrolled through the messages, I also came across a different girl he talked to last July 2024. Even went to Telegram. There was not much obvious flirting in the messenger apps, but no record of any Telegram conversation either. But I think I knew what went on whenever he asked her to check Telegram. Look, there's a banana in your Telegram.
Now we call it bananagrams.
I was frantic and did not know what to do with all that info. He was still sleeping soundly. I also checked if he had other messenger accounts logged in, but there was one. I could not access the full history since I was not sure of the password, so I left it at that. He was only staying at my place for a week, so I was debating on confronting him while he was still here or just leaving a picture of him sleeping in the hidden gallery so he would know I already knew. I was almost dizzy at first, trying to decide what was next. I tried to calm myself down, collect my thoughts, and once I did, I woke him up so we could talk. Oh, right in the middle of the night.
You
Eh.
can't sleep on it. You think
Yeah,
OP's
you
gonna
think you
sleep
go
on
to
that?
sleep after that?
You think OP's gonna
There's
sleep
no
on that?
sleeping
Ain't no
after
way
that.
OP's sleeping on that.
Mm-mm.
I asked him about everything. I gave him the chance to explain who the girl was in the screenshot with the minimized call. I asked who the person in the photos in this hidden gallery was. I asked who the girl he brought to Telegram was. And I ultimately asked him everything he lied to me about. Here was a summary of what he did say. The screenshot was not recent, and neither was the photos in the hidden gallery. He just went to his previous convo with the girl, who was apparently an ex,
Didn't they check the timestamps?
and decided to save the photos last August for reasons I cannot even to begin to think about. I was adamant to find the convo with his brother just to fact check the date. But apparently he just saved it along with the spicy pics. It was sloppy work, but he confirmed that it was taken away before I met him, lol. Of course he showed me the convo with the girl, and it appears that we overlapped for a bit. He sent photos of him taking inside my room to her, and even offered to give her a crocheted keychain I made for him, which he watched me make. Okay, that's the worst thing here. Forget about the pictures.
Yikes.
Sending another girl a handmade gift that was made for you?
That's rough.
The girl he brought to Telegram was just a Wild Rift playmate. And yep, they played a different game on Telegram too. Apparently there was another girl he was flirting with this October of 2024 on another account I could not retrieve the messages history for. It was milder than the other ones, but still flirting. This was a lot to process, and I honestly did not know what to do. But me being somewhat good at keeping things separate in my mind, or maybe just trying to rationalize things, I tried to understand what the heck happened. He said he did not know how to break it to me, but was finally planning on doing this on his birthday on the 13th of February of 2024.
That's wild behavior.
He was afraid of losing what he had, so he kept it in. Basically, just the basic excuses. I tried to pick his brain, asking his thought process when deciding to go through with these decisions, but he said he really didn't know. Okay, I'm just going to stop you here. We don't need to therapeutically conversate about why he thought about doing this and what he was lacking. He cheated, all right? Enough with the therapy talk.
Fair.
I feel like some people are like, oh, I just felt like my inner child was suppressed and I needed to do X, Y, Z. So I felt like I was being playful with someone and I could actually express my true self. But BS! They cheated, they didn't like you, that's it. During that time, I was angry, disappointed, and hurt, but also numbing myself so I could not lose control. So we could just talk about it. After considering the situation and trying to understand the underlying factors that led up to this moment, I decided to give him one final chance because I'm kinda dumb, but I clarified one chance only, full transparency this time, and set boundaries for now. I also told him that I do not know when I will forgive him, I just know that it will take time. I feel kind of stupid for doing this, but I want to believe that he could do it because I do love him. We never really had any issues in the relationship, we always communicated so well, or so I thought. And he is my best friend first and foremost. Some parts of me want to root for him, so I offered him the chance. I know things will be different from now on, but it will take a lot of work for both of us. But somehow, I just want to believe. I want to understand. I want to repair. By the way, if you want to repair something and listen to something as you're repairing it, come to your favorite podcast platform, iHeartRadio, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts, and listen to OK Storytime. There's a little bit left here. You know what OP's saying?
What?
I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to repair.
He's got to be into it.
That's right. It's a two-way thing. We have talked and agreed on full transparency. Yay!
Okay.
Good luck.
It's like a glass bathroom. It's just full glass. You see everything.
Yeah.
Set boundaries and set up routines, and we'll check in from the time being. We will see how I hold up, I guess. Right now, I cannot talk to friends since everyone is still busy recovering from the typhoon. So I cannot get any input from anyone else but you guys, I guess. Holy cow, yes you can. If you could post this on Reddit, you could post a text to any of your friends, and they'll tell you to break up with them. Holy cow. What are you thinking? That was wild. Wow.
Well, hopefully she's out of there by now. My fiance broke many of his promises, and now I don't love him anymore.
Was his promise to love you and he broke that too?
I, 23 female, and my fiance, 26 male, have been together for 4 years. I got pregnant after a year of dating, and we started renting a house together. I warned him from 5 weeks into my pregnancy that I would need help doing things around the house, since certain smells made me nauseous, and as I got farther along, I was always exhausted. I asked him to do certain chores during that time too. By the way, this comes from OKFreedom9790, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Carly.
I'm Riley.
I'm Keon.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we would do, so let us know what you would do in the comments. And OP says, he did some of the cleaning and most of the cooking, since I am a terrible cook, but I'm learning. The issue then was that I hated being the one assigning him chores, like he didn't have eyes to see that the dishes needed to be done or the laundry needed to be put away. I let it go because I was only working part-time and he was working 12-hour shifts, so I figured I should be grateful and put in some more work. Right before our son came along, he got a new job with better hours and higher pay, which averaged out to be around the same he made at his previous job. I thought the 8-hour workday would free up some of his time, and he would help around the house more. I was very wrong. He stayed home with me for 1 day after we brought our son home, and then went back to work. I did 100% of the cleaning at this time and about 50% of the cooking. He did not lift a finger from day 1 of our son being home.
Oh boy.
I packed his lunches, did his laundry, spotlessly cleaned the house every night, and stayed up until 3 a.m. to do so.
What?
Once our son was mobile, it was harder to keep the house tidy. I was exhausted taking care of him all day and then cleaning all night. On nights when I would work, I would come home to a disaster of a house and stay up even later to clean just a bit. I stayed home with him and worked 2 12-hour overnight shifts a week. He had promised me in the beginning of my pregnancy that I would be a stay-at-home mom and pay no bills. I own my car and my phone insurance, etc. is paid by my parents until I am 26, but I did have a good chunk of savings in case something changed. Moving in with him, I found myself being the one to buy everything. I didn't expect him to buy everything either, but I expected at least a little bit of help. I bought our table, couch, and many smaller things that quickly drained the savings I had. I figured I would just save the money I made working the 2 nights a week to rebuild my savings. But when the baby, that one's not italics, that one's got 2 little tildes. When the baby
That's interesting.
needed something, I was the one always buying it. He would complain about the groceries, so we did 50-50 on the groceries.
What?
Then the rent was hurting him, so we went 50-50 on the rent.
Oh my gosh.
Mind you, I am related to the landlord, so we got an amazing deal on this place, which was only $100 more a month than he was paying for the house he lived in before. It was a crappy 1-bedroom compared to a nice 3-bedroom. I was sick of paying the same amount as him while working half as much, all while doing 100% of the cleaning. He has also been going to the casino recently and gambling. He would go lose $200 and still complain about money like he wasn't just throwing it away.
It sounds like he's almost there to double it. Do not condemn this man's side hustle. I think he's on his way to success.
And don't listen to Riley. I stopped doing certain things that he needed, like packing his lunch, doing his laundry, and washing all the dishes. He started doing that for himself. But I was still annoyed that he only did things that benefited himself and didn't help at all with what benefited the household.
Yikes. This guy has a mentality of, I want a wife and kids, not, I want to be a father and a husband.
When I was pregnant, he said he would wash bottles, bring me water. You get really thirsty when breastfeeding. And said he would come home and take the baby for an hour so I could get some alone time. That never happened.
bro.
The only alone time I got was from 10 p.m. to 3 a.m. when I was cleaning, and if it wasn't too late, I would try to get a shower in. Got to the point where I was showering about once a week and using baby wipes as a touch-up for when I leaked milk, didn't have time to wash my face, spilled something on me, etc. When all of my anger built up, we would have talks, and they were always cut short because he would fall asleep or have nothing to say. We had probably had about 10 serious talks that always ended the same. I accepted his proposal a few months ago, thinking that would make him try harder to earn me and change his level of effort. But it didn't.
I really need to know what was his relationship like with his father and how did his father treat his mother, because this is being displayed right in front of us right now.
Recently, we had another talk about the same issue I had been bringing up since the beginning. I decided I was done, but I couldn't get the words out. I regretted it not ending there because I was so close, but I couldn't physically do it. Now he has finally listened to the things I have brought up in every past talk. He picks up. He doesn't clean as far as wiping down counters, sweeping the floor, or dusting, but picking up really helps my late night cleaning go much faster. He puts some laundry away and does most of the dishes. This is all I wanted him to do in the past. But now that he's fixed it, I resent him for not fixing it sooner. Now that I'm not so focused on being angry at the cleaning aspect of running a household, I am annoyed with the financials. He has not bought our son anything except 50% of his food and a few small toys here and there since he was 3 months old. He's now almost 3. Christmas is coming up, and I've spent more than $800 on all of his gifts. I know it's excessive. I just love buying him things. Now I am annoyed that he doesn't have to buy, let alone think of, anything to get our son. But I can think of something that you guys should do, and that's going to listen to more full episodes with stories just like this one. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, search up OK Storytime. Yeah, it's too little too late, buddy.
This is ridiculous. See, we just keep having stories about guys that don't do half chores, half of this. You know, work is tiresome, and you should be able to take a load off after work to decompress.
Sometimes you got other responsibilities at home you gotta do first, though.
Yeah, maybe you don't need that much time to decompress. Some people think they need hours. Maybe you just need 20 minutes of something. What I like to do when I get home is I either work out, take a little nap, or shower. And then that kind of resets me, and then I'm ready to get at the next thing. That has helped me do so many chores.
I was ready to end our relationship 2 weeks ago, and I still feel the same way. But since he's putting in the effort now, I don't know what to do.
Don't buy it.
Will the love come back, or will I have to continue faking it forever? Do I stay for our son or leave for myself? I have resented him for over 2 years, and I don't know if I have it in me to be with him any longer. I want to be happy, and I know I should feel better now that he has fixed what my biggest concerns were, but I can't make myself feel something that isn't there.
Who knows what to do with these guys? I say, I don't know, they need to go to class or something, you know? They don't understand, like, issues. Hey, you know how silly it is? Like, oh, I got divorced. Well, what happened? Why'd you get divorced? Because I didn't clean up around the house.